right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. That is me, 8744. And today, guys, we're doing our power rankings for the month of October, guys. Now, you guys are probably wondering, why am I doing this on a Saturday? Normally, I do this on Sunday. Yeah, I normally do on Sunday, but the thing is, tomorrow I'll be kind of busy, and I don't know when I'll be back from the event. So, like I said, I'd rather kind of not, schedule something tomorrow than realize I can't be there, than having to go through all the delay. It's just better just to do it today. So, you know. I think it'll be much better we do this today rather than save for tomorrow. Okay. So, like I said, I know one of my panelists, Tenant Item, will not be able to join because he's, I guess, preoccupied with stuff. So, hopefully, we can get some other people to join um, as replacements. So, like I said, let's start. So, we got Doodle here in the house. Hello, Doodle. Thank you for joining. I love your profile picture. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get started. Remember, guys, like and subscribe, and yeah, do everything. So I think we're gonna for this. I think we're gonna do from now on is that we're gonna do for each league individually, and then at the end we'll do our top ten of like the entire top 5 leagues.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, because I do think it's important to keep in mind that of course, stylistically the leagues are a bit different. So obviously a lot of things need to be. We're not gonna go into like complete like crazy details, like how much XG a team generated, or how much what kind of like how many expected goals against. We're just gonna try to go off one, because I do think when it comes to like personally when it comes to ranking teams, eye test for me is definitely like probably arguably the most important. Of course, the stats and all that comes after, but we have to just see. We're gonna try to judge them, obviously.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the tier list that we did. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm just trying to see if I can.
This is the first time I'm actually on this kind of thing, but I found time, so I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm just gonna check in.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess you know what? Let's give a few minutes for everyone to settle in, and then we'll start. The Sage 4 through 50 says, "Hello from Nigeria, man. Wow, we got it. We have someone from Nigeria, man. Nice. Nice to have.
We'll see if Nigeria can qualify for the World Cup. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, international break. I think it's coming up. I think, right?
Yeah, because I know because we play Milan like right after it. That's how I'm memorizing it. So yeah, it's gonna come up. I think after next week, because like after we play Lazio, I'm pretty sure that's when the international break is gonna start. So yeah, like literally one more week, and then it's this one, the last one, guys. This is the last one coming up. This is the last one
for this year.
For this year, so we can breathe after.
Oh man, November international breaks gonna be very interesting. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, they're probably like obviously I have my own I have my reserved opinions about international breaks, but I do think November is kind of where it's like the crunch time. It's the final part, so that's when things are kind of getting settled in, and obviously we have to just see what happens ultimately. Who's gonna be entering the plane to the United States and Mexico and Canada, and who is gonna be staying home? We'll see.
Yeah. All right, so let me make sure we got the right, because I don't think we use this one. This is a different one. I don't think we use this one, but let me just. Oh yeah, this is wrong. Leeds is not there.
Nah, I think that pretty sure that's for predicting the table, which obviously it's. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Leeds not even the Premier League this season, so like we can't use that one.
Yeah, just don't leave. I know some of them like for some reason like I know some people like made these kind of tier lists like before the playoff finals were over, and it's like here it is. Bro. Wasn't that a good one, actually? You could just rename the tier list. Yeah, there.
No, but Leeds is there. That's the problem. I'm sure there's one.
The thing is, Leeds have been promoted, though. Leeds are in the Premier League, so.
Oh, yeah, they are in the Premier League. They are.
Yeah, they lost against Brighton today.
Oh, I'm stupid.
No, yeah, they are there. They are there.
So I guess I got my memory wrong, because they got relegated and they came back up. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
Stupid. Sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So we'll put the best.
Yeah.
Thanks for correcting me.
Good.
Yeah.
Average.
Terrible.
I feel like there needs to be like bad and then terrible, personally.
Okay.
And I think delete one tier. I don't think we need that.
Yeah. Even the most smartest people can have stupid moments. So.
Maybe we could have kept one for worst, but whatever.
Yeah, let's put worst here, actually.
Yeah, bad, worst. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Arsenal. I'm gonna say it right here, guys.
Easy.
I'm gonna say it right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say right here. I don't want to tempt fate. Okay, I feel like this is gonna age bad.
Don't worry, I'm going to be joining you on on tempting the fate as well, because I think it's like, okay, you know what?
Yeah,
I'll say this. Let's make it easier.
okay.
I
Let
know
me
people clown on them, right? And I clown. Oh yeah, go ahead, finish it. But I got.
Okay, so let me say this right now. Arsenal is the team that's most likely in the strongest position to win the Premier League.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean they will win. We know this before. We've seen this story before. But yeah.
Like Arsenal, man, like wow. I've been very impressed with them. 7 wins, and not just 7 wins. 14 goals scored, I think, and 0 conceded.
Some games not even facing a shot on target. Like they faced 1 shot on target, I think, the last 4 games or something. I know they're just, let's call it what it is. Arsenal are a great team. They have a very good team. And by the way, I'll say this, I'll go even further. They can be a Champions League contender. They made the semifinals last season. They're like, not saying they're going to win it, but like Arsenal, I was wrong about them. I predicted them to finish 3rd at the start of the season.
Oh, yeah, same here.
You know why? Because I thought that, I thought it was going to be close. I'm not saying they were going to be like far away. I'm just thought, for me, looking at their window, I was like, they didn't really for me, address their issues. In the attack, like Gyökeres, I'm just not that big of a guy on him. And I still think, he's not that guy in my eyes. I also felt, Noni Madueke wasn't convinced. Eze, I like that signing. I like overall their business was fine for me, but I didn't think it was as good. I thought Liverpool had the best business. We're going to get to Liverpool, of course, eventually. And I thought City, I didn't think City would have as bad of a season as they did last season. Not that they would win the league. I had them finishing 2nd. I had Liverpool finishing 1st. But I just thought City and Liverpool strengthened a bit more in what they needed to strengthen in than Arsenal. So I just thought Arsenal would just kind of be close with them, but, ultimately finish 3rd, 1 or 2 points behind City. So far, it cannot be denied that Arsenal have been the best performing team in England, I think, and one of the best in Europe, because defensively, they're so solid. This is, for me, is the best defensive team in the world right now. And I think has been for, say, 2 years. Set pieces, we all know how just their set pieces are a cheat code. They're so efficient with them. And that's a very deadly weapon. I know people like to joke about it, but being very good at set pieces, both defensively and offensively, is a huge weapon. That is a very thing, and that is actually very important. And it's not like Arsenal, and for me, Arsenal, I always say, they can play 2 different ways. They can play with the ball. Of course, they can dominate possession. Most of the games they do. But even against teams that they don't dominate, they can play without the ball. They can really adapt. They're that kind of a team. They're a well-coached team. I mean, Mikel Arteta. Look, I'm not that high on Mikel Arteta because I think he should have won more than the FA Cup by now. But tactically, I cannot deny that, he has made Arsenal a very, very difficult team to beat. And I think that if they do, again, it's the thing of Arsenal is, can they score enough goals? I just think if they do get that, look, we know Saka's now back. Saka's fit. Bukayo Saka's such a huge asset to them. Martinelli, we know, very inconsistent to say the least, but, maybe he can come up with some goals. Eze, I think, does give him that spark in the attack. Declan Rice, for me, I know people like to call him a bit overrated. I get arguments, but we cannot deny he's a great player. He's so his ball carrying is so good. His defensive actions are so great, and he's able to strike a ball well as well. Zubimendi, I think, has had some issues early on, but I think he is slowly settling in. He's really Gabriel and Saliba, for me, is the best partnership, this center back partnership in the world. Timber at right back, I think is very underrated, very, very good player. And, Calafiori, you have, obviously injuries are a problem with him, but, he's a good player. He just needs to, be a bit more fit. Miles Lewis-Skelly is a good young player. They have depth. They have depth as well. And I just think they are a good team. It's just obviously this season where the jury's out on them is, can they actually take that next step? Can they get over the finish line? But as of right now, and this current time in November 2025, I have to say, for me, Arsenal are comfortably have been the most impressive team in England. They have been.
Yeah, I would agree. I really don't have much to add there. I think the only criticism you can maybe have with Arsenal is maybe they're at the striker issue, because I don't think.
But we also see them score goals. I mean, they scored 4 goals in one game against Atletico Madrid. It's not like they can't. I think they're a very balanced team. I do think they do need to be a bit more, efficient with their chances. They do create chances. It's just sometimes they are a bit flat there. But when you have such a good defensive unit and such a physical team, and the midfield also can create, they can defend, they can do all that. They're a
Yeah.
very difficult team. Like this is not going to be an easy team for anyone to.
Oh,
I don't
no.
think like, it's
No. I understand what you're saying, Duel, but I'm just saying is like I think like if there's any criticism to be had, I think
yeah.
Arsenal, the
I agree.
striker, is probably
I
the
agree.
only
As I
position
said,
where they
Gyökeres,
can.
I think, does need to be more consistent. Dean need to finish more. He scored today, but
Yeah.
in general. But yeah, overall, I mean, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, this is his first season, so like it's gonna take
Yeah.
time to adjust,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
for Arsenal, as I said, they have to do it. And for me, if they do not win the Premier League this
Yeah,
season, I'm
no,
sorry,
that's
Arsenal
just
has to get
bottle
second.
drop. Yeah.
Like this, for me, this is it. Like you have to go after this. I'm sorry, like
This
there's
is
no
it.
more
This
chance.
is it for me. Like they have to make obviously getting close and contending at all. Look, Mikel Arteta has done well to bring Arsenal back to a respectable status in Europe. But now after so many years of spending a lot of money, first of all, having lost so many new players, having coached so many different players, having seen being stronger each year on, now is the time for me that you have to get it done. There cannot be any more excuses now. You have to get it done. This is it. They have loaded up the squad. Yes, I know they had injuries last season, but they have obviously invested still in the squad this season. I know they could have had a bit better window, but look, there's no perfect window. I think you can always have a better window. But I think this is it now. But so far, they're on the right track, both in Champions League and in Premier League. And I think in general, yeah, I mean, yeah, they've been the best team so far, I think, performances-wise. Let's see if they
Yeah,
keep it up.
let's read some messages in the chat. We'll do our best to qualify. Arsenal, a straight team and best team and the best defense in the
I
world.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
We can make
It's
an
hard to
argument
argue
that
against, honestly. It's very hard to argue against right now.
you can make an argument they're one of the best teams. And stick around, guys. After we do the top 4 leagues,
Yeah.
actually we'll do
I
top
think
4.
performances, as I said, not only are they for me the best in England, they're one of the best in Europe, I think, right now. Yeah.
Yeah, stick around, guys, because we're going to be doing our top 10 of best in the
Yeah.
world. I'm sorry, best in Europe.
Yeah.
Best in Europe.
Yeah.
So Arsenal, one of the most underrated clubs in recent seasons, maybe because of trophy-less background.
Yeah. Everyone knows they're a good team. It's just, can they get it done? That's the question.
Yeah, I would start rating Arsenal more highly if they start being the best teams like PSG, Bayern, Real Madrid, etc. I don't think Atletico's enough.
Well, yeah.
Maybe Arsenal defeated Real Madrid last season.
Very convincingly as well. Obviously, we do want to see, that is actually a rematch I kind of want to see, though, as a neutral. I would like to see. It would be fun. Yeah. But yeah, I would say, yeah, this is it, I think.
Yeah, we'll say. Okay, let's move on to Aston Villa. Aston Villa, for me, looking at their form this month.
Very topsy-turvy, I would say. Very topsy-turvy in terms of, how they... Because they started off very badly. Then they went on a bit of a win streak. They lost today, I'm pretty sure, against Liverpool. I'm pretty sure they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 11th for... they're to be fair, they're only 3 points behind Liverpool, who are third. So, it's not... I kind of expected more from Aston Villa, to be honest, this season. I actually thought they can be good.
But yeah, well, by the way, we're looking at counting October games, so let's not include today games because today's November. So, for October, the thing for Villa is I think they've had a great window. I'm tempted to put them in the great tier, but the one blimp though for me is they lost to the Europa League. They shouldn't be losing to that team in Europa League. So.
Oh yeah, they lost to who the hell was it again? I forgot.
Go ahead, Eagles. Go ahead, Eagles.
Oh, them. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, do we put them? I'm thinking we put them in. But to be fair, they did well against the top 6. I mean, they beat Manchester City, they beat Spurs, they beat
away. I'm pretty sure they they beat Man City.
Yeah, I think we should put them a great. I'm thinking about a great.
They won away in Netherlands, actually. You know what's funny is they lost away in Netherlands and they also won because they beat Feyenoord. If you're away.
Yeah. So I think we should put them a great.
Yeah, I would say great. It would have been best if not for that slip up against the Go Ahead Eagles. But yeah, I think they recovered well after that, setback, that they started season. So yeah, I would say for this month, because we're doing months, we're not doing overall season so far. We're doing months.
Yeah.
For me, they've had a great month. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on to next we got here is AFC Bournemouth.
Who? Wow. Bournemouth.
Wow.
It's so weird because the thing is, it's weird because they've I'm looking at it right now. In October they've played 3 games and they beat Fulham. They had that crazy draw against Crystal Palace, and then they beat Forest. And they, by the way, they drew away to Crystal Palace 3-3. You know, Selhurst Park, as we know, Crystal Palace can be a difficult place to go to. Honestly, I would say great. They're second right now on the table. I feel like Bournemouth have been great as well. I think they're definitely showing they're a very difficult team to beat. I think they're really cool to beat. And after the window that they had, people forget, they lost Ilya Zabarny, they lost Dean Howson, they lost their defenders. Yet now they're suddenly playing better. So Andoni Iraola for me has to get a lot of credit for that. I think for me they're great, probably even above Villa because they actually lose technically. And so
yeah, that's true. Brentford, man.
Brentford.
Wow. Yeah, I know they defeated Liverpool this month.
Brentford, let me just check because the thing is, man, I don't really follow these kind of teams that closely, but I know they lost today, but we're obviously not going to count today because today is November. We're not going to count today. They are 12 currently in the league. They So you know what's funny? They defeated Grimsby Town. I know people will laugh at this, but Grimsby Town beat a certain we know who. We're gonna get onto them eventually, but they beat Liverpool, they beat West Ham, they lost to Man City, close game. Honestly, I mean, look, they had Man City and they had Liverpool, and they they were tight against City. Holland himself came out and said that was a very, very tricky game for them. They beat West Ham away, who, to be fair, we're gonna get onto, but are not having a great season. They beat Liverpool. I mean, I guess this is tricky.
Yeah.
I'm split between great and good.
Yeah, me too.
Because I mean, how much do you want to bank on the Grimsby Town result? How much do you want to take that into account?
Yeah, they did beat Liverpool.
Good. I'm gonna say good. They could be. We could switch them later, but for now, good. Yeah.
I maybe are adjust in the end because remember, guys, we may adjust in the end depending on how this goes because we know we don't want to overpopulate a tier. We want to make every tier that's kind of balanced.
I agree.
So, yeah. Next up is Brighton.
Yeah.
Brighton. Brighton, man.
They won today, but again, as we said, today's result doesn't matter in this case.
Yeah.
They lost to Arsenal in the EFL Cup. And by the way, Arsenal kind of rotated that. I mean, yeah, it's Arsenal. They lost to Man United. They beat Newcastle, and they drew to Wolves. I'm sorry, but I look at that and take context into account. That's kind of bad, That's kind of bad.
I think maybe we put average.
No, you know what? I'm gonna say average for now. I think it's average. Beating Newcastle is big. Losing to United though 4-2 is pretty and then drawing Wolves really I'm gonna say average, but not the most convincing. I would say just not the. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I would say average. I'm gonna say average.
Yeah, average is fair. Okay, next up is Burnley.
Burnley. They beat Leeds. They beat Wolves. They lost a close game against Villa. Away, by the way, at Villa Park. They beat Leeds and then they beat Wolves away. Honestly, I would say good. That's honestly not bad. That's actually good. I would say, they picked up the points. Burnley, we all know, are going to be in the relegation battle, right? And they defeated Leeds and they defeated Wolves, who they're going to be in the relegation scrap with. So those are relegation 6-pointers, as I call them. They had to win those games, and for me, they did. So I would say good.
Yeah, I would still put Brentford above because Brentford, at least beat Liverpool. So I think it's fair.
But for Burnley, we know they're going to be in this. So the fact they picked up 3 points in those games against the teams that they're going to be fighting relegation with, that's huge for them. Huge for their survival aspirations.
Next up is Chelsea. Chelsea.
This is tough because
Chelsea's so tough to determine, man.
Chelsea's so what's weird, right? Okay, let's go through them, right? Let's go if we take it into account.
Okay, let's start with the first game. So the first game they beat Liverpool 2-1. I think it was wow, what a bet.
Wow, what a game, yeah. Then they beat Forest 3-0, so we're like, yo, okay, Chelsea are cooking. Then they beat Ajax 5-1. We're like, yo, Chelsea, okay. And then they lose at home to Sunderland.
Last minute winner too.
This is why you can't get too hyped about Chelsea. See, this is why. And then they did beat Wolves, to be fair, 3-4. Crazy game. They went to David.
But let's be real. That Wolves game, I don't know how that they made it a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah, like okay. I'm gonna say good, but like losing to Sunderland, newly promoted Sunderland at home. Yeah, I'm gonna say put them there. Like, yikes.
Bottom of good?
Yeah, I would say good. Yeah, I would say there. Like, yeah.
I think we should put them above Burnley.
Yeah, no, I think put them above Burnley. I agree. Yeah, I would say there. I would say there. But man, like Chelsea, we know the potential in this team, but like they really could have had a perfect month if they just didn't, slip up in those 2 games. Like come on.
Yeah. I heard before we move on, guys, I heard people were saying Chelsea could actually win the title.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, let's move on.
Palace.
Crystal Palace.
So they lost to Everton 2-1. You could say, okay, happens. They drew at home to 3-3 to Bournemouth. Like, okay.
Okay.
And then at home, has anyone in this chat heard of this team, AK Larnaca, before? Just be honest. Has anyone here heard of them?
I think I've heard the name, but I don't really know.
I'm gonna say where they're from. They're from Cyprus. Yes, I'm gonna repeat. A Premier League side, an English side, lost at home to a team from Cyprus.
And I know people tell me that if Crystal Palace haven't played in much European competitions, all this crap.
No,
I don't care. You're a Premier League team. You shouldn't be losing. I'm sorry, there's no excuse. I don't care if you haven't played in this.
That's embarrassing. Like if it was in Cyprus, I would be like, okay, you got to go all the way to Cyprus. Okay, I can. It's still embarrassing, but okay, I can have it. Losing at home though, wow. Okay, like, and then let's even get better. Okay, they lost to Arsenal away, which you're like, okay, 1-0. Okay, Arsenal fairs. And then, of course, they beat Liverpool 3-0 at Anfield. Now, when you hear that, you might think, whoa, okay.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Liverpool's lineup. And it's like, yeah. I think they have to be average for me. I think they have to be. I'm sorry. Like, how do you lose to, like, yeah, they're like. And by the way, I rate this team. I think Oliver Glasner is a good coach. I think they definitely are. But, like, AK Larnaca, really, bro? Like, really? That's where nah.
Yeah, people overhype this team.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
yeah. Let's move to Everton.
Everton. Let's see. So in October, this is what they as I said, they beat the aforementioned Crystal Palace. They lost to City, and then they lost to Spurs 3-0 at home.
I'm sorry. How do you lose that badly to Spurs at home?
Okay, like City 2-0 at Etihad. I'm like, okay, fine. I hear it. They beat Crystal Palace. Okay, nice. 3-0 at home to Spurs. I'm sorry. I think this is bad. Like, because they lost more games than they, I think it's bad. Like, I think it has to be bad. Like, I think Everton is going to be fine. I think Everton are going to be okay. I'm not saying they're going to be in relegation battle. I think they're going to be fine. But, yeah, not great. Not great.
Yeah, because like here's the thing, like Everton's supposed to be good at home. Like Goodison Park was supposed to get like they generally didn't do well though. So like, okay, it's not the fact that like losing to Spurs isn't the issue for me. It's like how bad
they been generally good at home, even like after moving to a new stadium this season. I think they've been decent, right? So 3-0 at home is pretty bad. Like that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're not at Goodison Park anymore.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. Let me see. I don't actually know. What is it? Oh, Hill Dickinson Stadium. That's what it's known as.
Cool. Hill Dickinson Stadium. Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna miss Goodison Park though. That was a nice stadium. I kind of miss it, man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Anyways,
let's read some comments actually.
Yeah.
They have to win their games. They have to win the Prem. Yes, exactly. Villa have the good players, but are not performing to the level. It's like Liverpool performance this month. We'll get to Liverpool in a bit. Bournemouth's only loss was against Liverpool in the first game, and they also played great in that game. Wow. Brentford are good. Chelsea between good and average. I don't think the Ajax win. I don't rank the Ajax win. Ajax are very bad, and they had a red card.
Well, yeah, that's why we only put them in good.
Yeah, I've not heard that name before. All right, let's move to Fulham, man.
Fulham. Fulham, yeah. So they lost 3-1 to Bournemouth to open up October. Then they lost at home to Arsenal. Then they lost against Newcastle. And then they went to a penalty shootout and barely beat Wickham. I'm sorry, but 3 losses and then going to a penalty shootout against a championship side, if I'm wrong, maybe even a League One. Where are they? Hold up. Where were they? Let me actually check this. Like, where are they? Where Wickham been? They are in
League One.
Oh my days. They are 17th in League One. And Fulham went to penalties with them. I'm sorry.
I know they still won. I know you guys won. I mean, if you guys lost, that would be yeah. If you had lost, we would put them worse.
Yeah.
Here, but
again, people are going to say well, won today, but again, at the same time, it's like, yo, today's November. It's not October, so I'm sorry, but they gotta go in worse for me. Like losing every game, nah, that's crazy. Like wow.
Ooh, there's another team that could maybe be in the worst.
We'll see, but I think Fulham for me probably have to be there, right? I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's
maybe
move to,
I don't know. I think it's hard to like argue against it. It's like, yeah. Leeds.
All right, let's move to Leeds.
They lost to Spurs at home 2-1.
Okay.
They lost to Burnley away, but then they beat West Ham. I would say average, I guess. Although to be fair, losing to Burnley is bad though. But
bottom average is fair.
Yeah, bottom average.
All right, dude. Remember I said there's another team that you can maybe say. I know it's gonna be really.
Here we go. I know people have been waiting for this team. We're here now. All right.
Okay, we need to have an extensive conversation on this team. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. So they lose to Chelsea 2-1 away. Okay,
so we say it's fine. Okay, it happens. Chelsea fine.
Yeah, I mean, a last minute winner. Okay, you know what?
Then we know we say they're hosting United, who have been in a crisis at Enfield. We're like, surely that's 3 points, right? Surely. Harry Maguire dagger.
And you know what's really funny?
Enfield for the first time since 2016.
You know what's really funny, dude? Remember the last time, I think last season, Maguire missed that last chance at the very end.
Yeah. And now this time, yeah. But okay, we say, okay, and then they beat Frankfurt 5-1 away in Germany, and we're like, okay, fairs, like at least. By the way, this is Liverpool coming into this with a losing streak, by the way. They were four. This was their 4th defeat in a row.
Yeah, so because they lost to Palace the Galatasaray, right, the month prior.
Yeah. So they come battles in September. So yeah. So then they beat Frankfurt away 5-1. And we're thinking, okay, maybe this is it. They're turning it up. Yeah, they lost to Brentford. And then they lost to Palace. I know they had a rotated team, but like, brother, then why are you... You know what? I'm going to call Arne Slot out for this. Why are you rotating? I know League Cup. I know it's not the most important. I get that. But you're Liverpool. You have the squad depth. I get you want to rotate a bit. But like, why are you rotating that much? Like, why are you tossing the cup away? You don't even know. What if you don't... like? Because seeing as how the season has gone so far, like, I mean, why like throwing cups away like that? I think it's just naive, personally. Like, I think it's just a bit naive.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm sorry. Like, I know they beat Frankfurt 5-1, but I'm sorry. I think we both know where they have to go, right? Like, I'm sorry. Like, they have to be in worse for me. They have to be. Like,
yeah,
that's 400 million. 400 million spent in the summer. 400 million euros. Yeah.
Yeah, I know people tell me, like, how are you putting a third place team in the worst tier?
Yeah.
But you guys, remember, we're looking at form. We're not looking at the entire season. Because obviously, if we're doing the entire season, we wouldn't put them in the worst. Obviously not.
To be fair, if we do look at the entire season, maybe we would still, because they've been pretty bad.
So, but still, like, oh yeah, Doodle, what's your thought? Oh yeah, let's talk about Liverpool a bit more. Well, what do you think is wrong with Liverpool? Because I'm surprised how bad they've been. Are you surprised? Because I'm surprised.
So, I am surprised at how bad they have been, but at the same time, we have seen this kind of scenario before happen at other clubs. Like, there is this thing, right? I don't know why, but when you like have a successful season, or like when you have a stable season, right? It doesn't even have to be like very successful. They always had a successful season, right? They won the league last season, right? When you like, and I get it, right? the smartest club, I always say, the smartest club is the club that strengthens when they're winning for the present and for the future. That's the smartest club. Of course, as a football club, you want to aim for the aim of the elite sport is to always win, to always try to win. And obviously, after you won a league, you shouldn't just be content. You should try to get stronger, try to be more better to reclaim the league title, maybe even go farther in the Champions League, right? But when you basically spend that much money on so many different players, when you already had a working system, and you just now add in so many players because you have to. What do you just spend money then for? And you ruffle too many feathers, you get this. It has happened in many other clubs before. Real Madrid last season, let's say, I know they only got, to be fair, I think this is even worse because Real Madrid last season, they at least only had Mbappe, really. And I think there was just injuries that were also a big part in there, and all the things that happened. We've seen this with PSG in the past. We have seen this with, at least in the Champions League, we've seen this with many other clubs before. We've seen this with Chelsea. Let's not forget. I think Liverpool just tried too. I think they just bought a lot of unnecessary, 3, 4, maybe even 5 players to strengthen. Fair enough, I hear it. But 6, 7, 8, I think they bought too many players, and the players they didn't need, they bought Hugo Ekitike, right? Who has been, I think, their best signing so far this season. They bought him, but then they bought Alexander Isak. Why? That's what I don't get. I get Isak is a better player than Ekitike, but if they already bought Ekitike and he's performing, why would you want to disturb that? And let's not forget, Isak was coming into this team without any match fitness, without any fitness. He skipped the preseason because he held out for Newcastle. So what was the point of that? I just don't hear it. And by the way, let me say this right now. I don't know if there's any Liverpool fans here in this live right now, but I'm going to say this right now. Liverpool fans, I think, were a bit naive about, them thinking that Frimpong could, they would replace Trent easily. I'm sorry, but that was never going to happen. Frimpong is a completely different kind of a player. And I'm sorry, that is one signing for me that I think it just does not work there stylistically. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just don't think the fit is there. And I think they really miss someone that can play a ball out of the back and make those pinpoint passes, long passes and crosses like Trent did. And I think
and then do it all. We have to talk about the Egyptian.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about him. Oh, by the way, not just the Egyptian. Before we get to him, I think we also need to talk about the German. We need to talk about him also. I think. I mean, look, I think Florian Wirtz is a talented player, right? Let's call it what it is. I know people are calling him a bum and everything. Look, I think he has the ability, and I do think eventually he will come good. I think he's that gifted that he has to come good. But let's call it as it is. When you spend that much money, 150 million was it, something like that, on a player, you expect him to hit the ground running from the get-go. And he hasn't really done that so far, has he? He's struggled. I think that their midfield is very unbalanced. It doesn't seem to click. I also think his issue is I don't think he's physical enough for the Premier League. I think he needs to really work on that. I think he needs to, because he needs to realize he's not going to get as much. I don't want to make this a Bundesliga versus Premier League thing, but the Premier League is the most physical league, I think, in the world, at least out of the top 5 leagues. And you need to not only do you need to be good on the ball. Look, Florian Wirtz is a very highly intelligent player. I think we all know. You could see, he has the vision, he has the passing, he has the finishing as well. But when you're in the Premier League and you're getting this much, when you're facing these defenders, these midfielders, that are physically imposing, you have to be able to match that in order to actually do your thing. And I don't think he's doing that. That's how I think going to come with time. But I also think Arne Slot needs to really accommodate him properly. I think the system needs working. And as for Mohamed Salah, I mean, is Father Time finally catching up to him? Is it finally now getting to a point where because I know Salah, here's what I'm going to say about Salah. I know Salah is he's never going to lose one thing. Finishing for me is something that you just can't quote unquote lose as an attacker. I just think if you have that strong finishing and strong instincts in the box, you're always going to have that. And I think Mohamed Salah, as we know, is a very good goal scorer and he's a very good creator. But I think now, as he enters his 30s, as he's now, aging even more, I think Liverpool have to think about that post-Salah era. I think they need to start thinking about that. And also for post-Van Dijk as well, let's be honest. I think there's a lot of Liverpool need to begin thinking about potential transition for transition from those players. Because Yeah, they invested a lot, and maybe that was one of their aims, but I don't think they got the profiles right. I've been saying for like since this season, because I've watched a lot of Liverpool, they just didn't get the profiles right, I think, and it just does not seem like it works. I don't think it works right now, and I really think for them to like really fix up, Slot first of all has to like really take a lot of accountability. I think he needs to like fix a lot. And one thing that he needs to do also is that I think now he needs to like, instead of playing names and instead of playing players just because of their price tags, play players based on merit that actually deserve to play. Federico Chiesa has always this season, whenever he came on, made impact for Liverpool. Why is he not starting? Why? Just because Alexander Isak costs way more money. Is that why? Or like, just because Florian Wirtz costs way more? Or even like, let's even go further. Yeah, Mohamed Salah is your best player, but if he's not performing, and you just keep trying to shoehorn him in, well, other players that probably deserve opportunities aren't getting them. So how is that going to work? I think there just needs to be a lot of figuring out. And I do think Liverpool will turn it around somewhat in terms of like, get better results, go on a better run, because their team is way too talented not to. But they need to do this quickly, because their ambitions coming into this season was to like compete for everything essentially. And I don't know if they're doing it right now. Like, like Arsenal, we talk about, I'm not saying Liverpool cannot win the league. I'm not going to rule them out already. Of course, we're only in November, but if they don't get up to speed, this can become a very grim season just like that.
Yeah, and I think for Liverpool, because the thing is like it reminds me of the Galacticos in some ways when Real just spent so much money that summer and they underperformed.
Yeah,
because obviously you do want to spend money, but you don't want to overspend, because if you overspend, you're making too much changes to the team and there's too much new dynamics.
There needs to be a balance. You can't just underspend as well, but you don't need to overspend as well. Like you need to obviously strengthening the team. That's obviously obvious, but you don't need to like do too much. Sometimes you just need just enough. And
and I think
they're going.
Yeah. So, and I've heard some people say this. I want to know your thoughts. I know we're speaking about Liverpool a lot, but there's so much discussed about this team, so that's why we're doing this a bit longer. But well, because we're gonna move on soon. But do you think if Salah wasn't insane last season, do you think Liverpool still win the league?
If he wasn't insane, I think yes. Probably a lower margin, I would say, because look, they kind of dropped points later after they won the league, so they took foot off. Because I just think, but I'll say this: I don't want to be that guy, and I'm not. This is not me taking credit away from Liverpool, by the way. This is not me taking credit away from Liverpool, but let's call it as it is. City were very poor last season, and Arsenal faced many injuries, as we know. And I'm not saying Liverpool. That's on Liverpool. Of course it's not. They took advantage. They did their thing. They won the league dominant fashion. Yeah, sure. But I think this season, everyone expected them to be challenged more, and they are being challenged. But people also expected Liverpool to, raise their bar, be up there, and try to defend their crown. And it can still do it. But as it is right now, I know they beat Arsenal this season already at Anfield, but let's be honest. It wasn't like a crazy game. It wasn't like an insane performance. They scored that last-minute free kick from Szoboszlai. They got that late free kick, and they scored, and they won 1-0. But, I'm looking at it like Arsenal. It's just the thing is, I feel like Arsenal are, doing, pretty much what they're expected to do this season so far, actually performing and, showcasing their title credentials. Liverpool, for me, have, as league title winners, I don't think they've really shown enough today so far this season. I think that they need to speed it up. They need to really get it going, because you can't just we're entering November now, and I feel like if by December they haven't fixed their issues, I don't know. Then I don't know.
Do you think Salah should be sacked?
No, I think he's gonna last for a whole year personally. I don't think they're going to be that bad. I think they're going to be in the mix still to, win the league. I would not sack. You can't already sack a league winning manager, in my opinion. Now, if it becomes a disaster, I don't know, Jose Mourinho's second season at Chelsea when he returned, right, in 2015, 2016, if he loses a dressing room, if they're mid-table or something, then you can have those conversations. But right now, I think it's too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying like people are saying like Slough should be sacked already. I'm like, guys, hold up, guys. He won the league title last season. Come on, give this guy
No,
respect.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, come on, I think it's a bit harsh, but yeah, Liverpool is definitely bad, and yeah,
But Slot needs to
Liverpool.
take accountability as well. I think that he's been a bit found out tactically. I think I'll say the teams are now, very preferred against them. He needs to adapt, and I think I think for me, as I said, the biggest thing, it's not just tactics. He needs to now, be like, okay, you know what? I don't care how much money this player costs. If this player is not performing, I'm gonna play this player. Your job as a coach, ultimately, is to look. Don't worry about the finances. I always say, do not worry about that. That's all. If these players don't work out financially, whatever, at the end of the day, the clubs is going to be the one that's under scrutiny. They're going to fall. The board is going to take the blame. You as a coach, you as a manager need to focus on getting the results. And you have to play whoever it is. Like whoever it is. I don't care if it's like a 100 million player, if it's a 1 million worth player. Whoever is getting you the results, whoever is playing better, do it. No need to keep benching, Federico Chiesa. No need to Ekitike, you're trying to shoehorning him as a left winger to accommodate Isaac. No, if Isaac is not performing, I'm sorry, but put Ekitike back at 9. He's performing. And then try to figure it out. Then try to figure out the balance. But first, I think they just need to get the wings going, and then they can, once they are winning again, then they can begin kind of experimenting some things. Because while doing that, when you're losing, I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah. Anyways, we spent enough time with Liverpool. Let's move on. Liverpool is definitely the worst here.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is Manchester City.
Manchester City.
Manchester City.
So weird. They're honestly such a hard team to evaluate this season, right?
So they tied in Monaco. They beat Brentford. They beat Everton.
Beat Villarreal. Lost to Villa.
They lost to Villa. And they beat Swansea.
Yeah. I guess I would say they've been good. I guess, good overall. I would say probably above Chelsea. But I do think we expect more from Man City. I do. I feel like this team has issues though. I don't know if Pep has fully figured it out. Have they improved from last season? It's very hard to say for me because we're still early into the season. But I don't know. It's just City for me. They just, the thing with City is, I feel like they've kind of lost that fear factor. You know how in the past teams used to fear City, they were so worried against them because of how dominant they were, how ruthless they were. I feel like they've lost that. I feel like they're just not there. I know Holland is crazy, right? But I'm saying beyond that, it's I don't know. I feel like City, they're so weird. They're just, I don't know. They just don't have that aura anymore. They just don't have that fear factor anymore. I feel like now teams are, a bit more confident against them. And for me, defensively, they're a bit weak at the back. They're a bit suspect.
All right. Yeah, City, I think top of good, I guess, is fair. I guess. And I don't think we should put them above. And it's kind of, it's interesting. The team we put above is the one that defeated them pretty much this whole month. So
yeah.
And City's playing Bournemouth tomorrow, so that'll be a big one. Okay, I'll say this right now. If City beat Bournemouth, then that'll be impressive.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to Manchester United. Wow.
Ooh. Well, okay. So they started October after they lost to Brentford. That was in September. They beat Sunderland, which you're thinking, finally, this team wins. They beat Liverpool away. Then you're oh, hold up. Okay. Then they beat Brighton away at home, I meant. Oops. And you're remember that, that meme that joke that's going on, a guy that's, not cutting his hair until United win 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, spoilers, if you haven't watched, he has to wait again because they drew to Forest today, but that was today. So, but Man United in the month of October, 3 games, 3 victories. I mean,
yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but best they won every game.
Yeah, that's true. You know what the crazy thing is? Because I thought after the Liverpool game, I was like, okay, you know what? Because I remember last season they did this. United beat City away at the Etihad.
I thought they were going to drop points to Brighton.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was just it's just
so
a
the
win.
fact they won 4-1, 4-2, they were 4-1 up. I'm okay, fair
enough.
Like they dropped points today, so don't trust this team still. I don't think you can trust them fully. But
yeah. For United, let's be real. People are saying title talks. You guys are not winning the title. Let's just relax with that. You guys are way too far. This team is not Champions League worthy material. But I think this team could get Europa League, and I think Europa League
They
is
can, yeah, but they still need like issues. I still don't rate Amram as a coach personally. I think that his time, I do think it's imminent that he eventually goes. I just don't see him lasting long here. But yeah, but look, they won 3 games, 3 wins. I mean, we're judging it based on month. What can you say?
And you know what's crazy, Doodle? I found out this is the first time under Amarim they won 2 consecutive games in a row.
Yeah, crazy.
I'm sorry, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Well, congratulations, United. You finally got some sense of happiness.
So I think for United, like I said, I think if they can get, for me, like the best they could do is 5th. They cannot do better than 5th, I think.
I think they're not even going to do that. I think they're going to finish lower. But yeah, I mean, we'll see.
No, but I mean like max. I'm saying.
Yeah, max
like,
5th, 6th, I think. Max stills, yeah.
So I think for United, if they could get European football, that would be a great achievement. They better get European football, by the way.
Yeah.
If they do not finish European football, Amarim has to get sacked.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Newcastle United.
Newcastle. So Newcastle, they play tomorrow. Let's see what they have done so far. So they start off October after they lost to Arsenal. October 1st, they beat Union Saint-Gilloise 4-0 away in Belgium. Same result as Inter, funnily enough. They beat Forest 2-0 at home. They lost away to Brighton. They beat Benfica 3-0. They beat Fulham 2-1, and then they beat Tottenham 2-1. I mean, 1 defeat, many wins otherwise. Damn, do we put them in best? I mean, they won most of their games.
I would say great.
No, I would say great. I would say top of great, personally. I'm going to say top of great. Yeah, not best, but great. Good month, good window for them, I would say. Good one.
Yeah. Nottingham Forest. Wow.
Nottingham Forest.
I'm spoiled. They might be.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, right? Like, Forest, okay, let's go through, like, on them. So, they lost to, okay, this is how they started off. They lost to, I'm going to butcher the name, but Midtjylland. Yeah.
Midtjylland. By the way, Midtjylland is a Danish team.
Team. At home, by the way. Yeah. They lost to Newcastle then they lost 3-0 to Chelsea. They did defeat Porto. So, yeah.
That Porto one's a bit controversial, though.
Yeah.
Because they had 2 pens.
2 pens. So, yeah, okay, whatever. And then they lost to Bournemouth. I'm sorry, but for me, they have to be bad. Actually, worst, potentially.
I'll put them.
They lost to Midtjylland at home. They sacked their man. Yeah, it's worse for me. It's worse.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, we have to put the worst.
Man, I gotta say their owner is crazy. Like, Marinakis is crazy. Like, I don't know if this is the way to run a football club. I mean, to be honest, who am I to say? But like, hiring Ange Postecoglou. Oh, by the way, I think the fact Ange got sacked, I think we can confidently say that Spurs made the right decision ultimately. Because damn, yikes. But now they got Sean Dyche. But I'm sorry, this Forest team. Look, I know last season they overperformed. I didn't expect that kind of an overperformance this season, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. Like, this is dark. Like, this is so bad.
Yeah.
But this is karma. Right. This is karma, though. This is karma because they should have not been in the Europa League. That should have been Palace. They won the FA. Yeah. So this is karma, I would say. This is a bit
to be fair, I think I guess that's fair. And yeah, by the way, Forrest, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're a doodle. You're right, man. You shouldn't because you won a trophy doesn't necessarily mean that you got to be praised a lot. Context matters. So Sunderland, man. I mean, I can't believe saying this, but Sunderland might have to go the best year.
Sunderland, I mean, look, they are. So let's go through October. They lost against United away at Old Trafford, but then they beat Wolves, and then they beat Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge.
Okay, actually, no, I can't put them in best, but I'll put them in great.
Yeah, I can't put them in best because, but you got to, what's fun? Fittingly enough, put them next to their rivals. Put them next to Newcastle. By the way, I cannot wait for that game.
Oh my! What is that? What is that game? Is that game November?
When
is that game? It's December.
It's December.
Oh, it's December. December. Oh
I'm watching that game. Oh my god, that's such a fun game. That's gonna be such a good game. That's one of the best rivalries. One of the best in England.
9 a.m. on Sunday, December 14th. Oh my jeez.
When is it at
Yeah, I might.
It said
Yeah, I
6
might
a.m.
have
for me. Crap. I might actually wake up early for that, man. That's
for that game.
It's such a good game. It's gonna be such a good game. At
Oh my
stadium
jeez.
as well, at their stadium, Sunderland. I'm sure Sunderland fans.
Oh,
They're gonna be
yeah. Oh my
This is
jeez.
gonna be a
But
fun
yes,
game.
Sunderland, man, they're great here. I can't believe we're them great.
Oh, by the way, I know this might be crazy to say already, but are we already?
They're
Can we
surviving.
say Sunderland are gonna survive? Can we already say like?
Well, because I think the magic number is 40, right?
Yeah.
So how many points are on? They're on 17 and 9 games. Oh yeah, I think they're gonna survive.
Yeah, I mean, I had them surviving. I do know they're gonna slip. Obviously, they're not gonna finish this high. They're gonna be fighting relegation. I had them finishing, I think, like 17th, I think, or something like that. I think they might finish higher though. But Sunderland's objective is, well, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but like Sunderland's recruitment has been insane, incredible. They've recruited very well. And I mean, people were talking about, there being a huge gap between Premier League and Championship now. Well, look at Sunderland. Look at them. Look how they're going now. It's not about the gap. It's about how you recruit and how smart you are. And I have to say, Sunderland, I really do hope they stop because it's actually a big club. They're not like a small club. They have same league titles as Chelsea, same amount of league titles, believe it or not. So,
yeah.
And yeah, that game against Newcastle, I mean, that's going to be
nice. I'm looking at this team. You got Renildo, you got Michuela, you got Gertruda, you got Royce, you got Xhaka, you got Isidore. I mean, this team looks good.
Yeah.
I got Talabi. I know this guy. This is a guy from Club Brugge, I think.
Yeah, this is a good team. And honestly, if someone can survive and they continue building, you never know. You never know how far they could go. This is
Sunderland, Newcastle. Yeah.
This is going to be insane, incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, moving on to Spurs, man.
Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay.
Okay, so
let's
they
see.
beat
They started with
United away first.
2-1. Okay, that's good.
And they lost to Aston Villa at home. Okay, not as good. They drew to Monaco away, and let's be honest, they should have.
They were lucky to get.
They were
lucky.
But then they beat Everton 3-0 away, and we're thinking, okay, cool. And then they lost to Newcastle away. I'm gonna say average. I feel like it's average. Like I think they've been average. Right?
Yeah, I know we're not counting,
but I don't know. Some are. Yeah, I would say above Leeds. They did Leeds, to be fair. So
okay, yeah, I think it's And by the way, they were all Chelsea. I know we're not counting today's games, but
awful. I don't think Thomas Frank is a bad coach, but I do think people kind of begin overrating him a bit, in my opinion. But anyway,
Tottenham is just a topsy-turvy club. Like they do well sometimes, they do crap. They're way too inconsistent.
Yeah,
they're like a roller coaster. They go up and they go down.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to describe Tottenham.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, West Ham.
Oh my days. Okay. So, lost to Arsenal 2-0 away. You're thinking, okay, by the way, West Ham this whole season have been pretty bad. But okay, lost to Arsenal away. You're thinking, okay, fine, expected. Lost 2-0 to Brentford at home. And then lost 2-1 to Leeds. I'm sorry. They have to be in worst. They have to be. They lost like every game. I would say probably like there. Yeah. I mean, it's so bad. Like, is it actually gonna happen?
No, they wouldn't dare, would they?
Imagine it happens.
Do you think it was right to move on from David Moyes?
I mean, look. I think that obviously under him, they didn't play the most inspiring football. I know they were a bit hard struggling, I think. But the thing is, you got to think about it. After they moved on from him, how much better have they gotten? They haven't gotten better. So maybe you know what? Maybe they had to move on from him. But you know what I think I will say about David Moyes is he's a safe pair of hands. You could see with Everton. Like, he will keep you up in the league, in the Premier League. Like, maybe he'll get you like decent mid-table. Maybe he'll push you for higher. God damn it, they won a trophy under him. I get that football under him wasn't great. I get that they were, very like, shaky overall, got him. But like, it's gotten stale. But like maybe it was time for a change. But since then, they haven't not had good appointments. And I'm sorry, like now it's like I don't want to say it's gonna happen, but if they're still in this like dogfight by like December in the relegation zone, I mean, I don't know. It's just they've been. This would be embarrassing though. Do you know how much money they spent overall? Like what their team is? How is that team fighting relegation? Embarrassing, just embarrassing.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, maybe it's West Ham. They'll survive, I think, but they're gonna have to pick it up because this is embarrassing because they should not get relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the final team, Wolves. I think it's easy to say. We'll put them at the very bottom.
They lost, by the way, today. Obviously, it doesn't matter, but they lost 3-0 today against Fulham. They're bottom of the. I mean, they're bottom of the league. Like
so they have to be bottom here too. It feels really weird putting Liverpool in this bottom, the worst tier.
Yeah, and it feels equally as weird putting Man United as best.
Yeah, but remember, guys, we're going by just October.
It's kind of crazy though. We only have one bad team in there. Bad,
Yeah, I feel like should we put Liverpool in bad?
Nah. They've been pretty bad. Like they gotta put their. I would say bad. I would say maybe we'll move Leeds down. I guess probably above Everton, but
okay.
there. I would say.
All right.
Besides that, it's I mean that's our list. Yeah, for Premier League.
Yeah, wow, Premier League. We nearly spent almost an hour here. Yeah. Well, it is the most talked about league in the world. So
yeah,
is it the best? That's for you guys to decide. Well, one thing's for sure is the most popular. You cannot dispute that.
Yeah, it is the most popular. It is the most watched.
Yeah. The fear factor is gone. I think I'll put them best behind Arsenal.
United, I think.
Yeah. I remember last in the team like Arteta. Arteta was very bad when he first took over. That is true. That actually, people don't remember this. Sage is right. Arsenal were really bad. I remember they were in the relegation battle. They lost.
During COVID. Yeah,
I remember that.
United think differently from Arsenal. I just think but look, I think. But the thing is, Amorim, to be honest, he is top 10 worst managers statistically ever in the Premier League.
Arteta come on, guys. Arteta is better than Amorim.
Arteta won a trophy, by the way. I know it's kind of crazy to say. It's kind of unbelievable to say, but he did.
So I'm sorry, we cannot put Amorim in the same conversation. Arteta as good of a manager. Our Arteta is clear. Come on, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Now maybe now, like I said, for United, the ambition should be to get European football.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and if they don't get European football,
Amorim himself came out yesterday and said they have to get European football. So he knows. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair. And so, let's be real, Doodle. Had they not beaten Liverpool, Amorim probably would have got sacked.
Yeah.
So.
But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see with them. We'll see.
Yeah, to be fair, Amorim could still get sacked, depending on how bad the form goes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Newcastle great in Europe. They're only experienced the UCL top 8 at the moment. Imagine on in the UCL, they would have embarrassed the Premier League. Well, they could. They weren't eligible to qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dude, if they were in the Champions League, oh yeah, it would be bad.
Yeah.
I apologize to Sunderland. Yeah, me too, man. Sunderland sold Bellingham and brought Jock, a great replacement. Tottenham is just weird, man. Low. Never mind my comment. Wolves and bottom tier.
Yeah,
Wolves should be bad. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Wolves not bad. Wolves is the very worst tier.
Yeah.
Mario, say Tottenham for a massive embarrassment today. That's true. West Ham got rid of lots of players and didn't do a good job replacing him.
Yeah.
Poor Wolves. Liverpool back to old settings.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's
wild. Yeah. And Sebastian Mann said that Liverpool went 8 treble this season. Well, that's not happening.
No chance.
I don't think Arteta would do anything with Manchester United.
But would Amorim do anything with Arsenal? If I had to twist it.
Yeah, I mean,
see, I don't like these hypotheticals because we can only judge on what we see. We can't just judge on hypotheticals. Okay, this. Yeah.
Okay, I think we can all agree. Arsenal board is clear. Manchester United board. Can we all agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, easily.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's move on over to La Liga. La Liga, the second most watched league in the world.
I mean, technically, Bundesliga's quote unquote most watched because I mean, to be fair, Germany has the highest population in terms of like attendances. But yeah, worldwide, probably La Liga. I maybe.
Oh yeah, this is the one we did. All right, so our in La Liga. All right, let's reset this. All right, La Liga, we're not going to spend as much time.
Yeah, I'm just
Great,
looking at it honestly.
average, bad, and worst.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start with Deportivo Alaves.
Alaves, where are they at? They're at 12th. They let's see what they had in so they beat Elche 3-1 at home to start off October. They drew to Valencia at home. They lost to Rayo Vallecano, and then they beat some team in the Copa del Rey 7-0. We're not gonna think too much about that. So they won one, they draw one, and they lost one. I would say average. I would say they had an average October.
All right, FC Barcelona.
Yeah.
Let me talk about my team first. So,
Yeah.
Barcelona, I think we had a. Let's see. I mean, let me look through the games. I'm trying to see if I can remember. Jog by memory. We lost to PSG at home, which was pretty bad. That was really bad, honestly. Lose to a PSG B team. They got thrashed by Sevilla. That was bad. Beat Girona barely. We smashed Olympiacos, but honestly, the red card probably helped. And then we were outplayed in El Clasico. Honestly, it pains me to say this, but we're probably in the bad tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting this in the bad tier.
Because you didn't win 2 games. Honestly, if you didn't beat Girona, that could have been a worse tier.
Yeah. And let's be real, we only thrashed Olympiacos because we had an extra man.
Yeah.
We do not thrash Olympiacos if we didn't have an extra man.
Yeah.
We didn't have a man advance star, should I say. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Disastrous month. And, Dudo, what's your thoughts on, give me a quick thoughts on El Clasico. Very, very brief. I want to hear quick thoughts.
Okay, so I actually watched it with Silva. Like, so I can like say like I was watching El Clasico. It ended 2-1, but I'm gonna be honest, Chesney saved that from being a humiliation. Madrid will completely outplay Barcelona that game. I know Barcelona had some, okay chances overall, but like Madrid were just superior in like every single way. They were, and they took their chances more. They would have like beaten Barcelona convincingly in that Clasico.
Yeah, we were so bad that game.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, PSG as well. Like I watched that game, PSG. I mean, losing to the PSG B team at home, like that attack that they had, like pretty bad. Losing 4-1 to Sevilla, embarrassing. I have to say, Hansi Flick needs to fix that high line. Do something about that because getting too exposed now. He's struggling against Girona as well. Olympiacos, I know the red card probably did help a lot. So I'm sorry, but Barcelona, they they need to like fix up. They need to like really recover a lot because this is not looking good right now. Like they have a lot of problems. It seems like defensively they're just very shaky. And and obviously I know Barcelona have had some injuries, but yeah, I mean this has not been a good month at all.
Yeah, Barcelona, man. You let me Yamal. Those comments.
Oh man. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'll just say something about that quickly. It's like I don't mind players trash talking before games. I actually kind of fun. I find it like funny. I actually find it kind of cool. We need that kind of thing. But if you want to trash talk, I think you just gotta back it up. Then. If you don't back it up, you look stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not confident and you're saying that it looks dumb, you got to be confident. Why are you saying
you gotta actually back it up, but you didn't. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and the midfield wise awful. Yeah, Barca. Honestly, we could. There's even an argument to put us in the worst tier. There's even an argument, but I think the reason why I'm not putting it in the worst tier because we won 2 games.
Yeah,
that's literally about the reason why. But honestly, you can make arguments. So yeah. All right, let's move to Real Betis.
Real Betis, where are they at? How are they doing? Let's see. So they're 7th currently in La Liga. So they
I just realized
beat
this.
Ludogorets to start off their month, October. They beat Espanyol, then they drew away to Villarreal. They drew away to Genk. And then they lost at home to Atletico Madrid. And then, of course, they beat some teams 7-1. I don't know who that was. I don't know. In Copa del Rey, I don't know who they are. But I would say a couple of wins, draws. I guess lost against Atleti at home. I'm going to say a high average. Yeah.
Yeah. I just realized this is not done alphabetically.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, let's move into Athletic Club.
Athletic Bilbao. How are they doing? Wow, 10th. Wow, yikes. So Athletic Bilbao. They lost 4-1 to Borussia Dortmund to start off the month. Bad, pretty bad. They beat Mallorca 2-1 at home, although then later on, they had a penalty, and of course Mallorca had a man sent off late on. To be fair, game was over by then. So how much do you want to count that? I don't know. So yeah, that's up there. And then they drew away to Elche. They beat Karabakh at home, and then they lost at home to Getafe. And I know this is not going to count, but they lost today against Real Sociedad. And by the way, for those that don't know, Real Sociedad and Athletic Bilbao are actually rivals. They're from the Basque country, so they're actually rivals. So that's pretty bad for them. Honestly, looking at it, Villarreal defeat. Actually, no, Villarreal was September. Losing heavily to Dortmund, losing against barely beating Mallorca, drawing to Elche, barely, or not beating Elche, beating Karabakh, and then using to get Getafe. I'm gonna say average. I'm gonna say below Betis. Yeah, average.
Yeah, average. Moving on to Celta.
Celta Vigo. Let's see. Celta Vigo. They are okay. So let's see. So they start off. They beat PAOK to start off their October. Then they drew against Atletico Madrid. Then they drew against Sociedad. They beat Nice, and they beat Osasuna, and then they won as well in the Copa del Rey. So honestly, you know what? I would say good. I think it's a good month. Yeah, good month.
Yeah,
A lot of red cards around there, so I'm gonna say good. Maybe we switch it up to great later, but yeah, I would say good month.
Yeah. Next up is Elche.
Elche, newly promoted team. Yeah. Let's see where they have been. Let's see. They're playing Barcelona tomorrow. By the way, interesting. Elche, they as follows. They lost to Alaves. They drew to Athletic Bilbao. They lost to Espanyol, and then they won against some Copa del Rey. I mean, I'm sorry. They have to be in bad for me. They didn't win a game. I know they've been doing fine so far in La Liga upon promotion, but this month, yeah, not a great month for them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Espanyol.
Espanyol. Interestingly, so Espanyol, they started off. They lost to Betis at home. They then beat Oviedo away. They beat Elche at home, and then they won today. So they lost one. I would say they're at an. I would say the only team they like. I guess average. I guess behind Betis. I guess average. I would say. Yeah, average. Probably now. I think above those two, but then behind Real Betis, I would say. Yeah.
All right, I guess that's fair. All right. Let's move on to Girona.
Girona. Oh man, what has happened to these guys?
Yeah.
Girona. People might find it hard. They're 20th. Wait, what?
What?
They're
They're
20th.
dead last.
They're dead last.
Yeah,
So,
well, I think We had to be the worst year then, right?
I mean, they beat Valencia to start off the October, but then they lost to Barcelona. They drew at home to Oviedo. They beat some team barely 3-2 in Copa del Rey, barely. And then they lost to Getafe.
Yeah.
I mean, they I don't know. I think they have to be in worst tier. They're 20th. They're 20th
Yeah.
place. Remember when
Bro, how
Girona
do you?
finished third? They finished third 2 seasons ago. Now they're 20th.
Wow. This
See
fall
how
off, man.
see how quickly football changes. How quickly football can just change.
Girona, please don't get relegated, man. Please don't.
Oh, you probably want
Anyways,
these next guys to be relegated. We're going to talk about now.
yeah. Yeah, Getafe.
Getafe. So Getafe lost against Osasuna, lost against Real Madrid, beat Athletic Bilbao, won 11-0 against some team.
11-0 is crazy.
11-0 against Inter de Valdemoro. Well, whoever this team is, I don't know who that is. You're bringing shame to that Inter name. So there you go. And then they beat Girona. I mean, they lost to Madrid. They lost to Osasuna. Then they won those games. I guess average, I suppose. Like, yeah,
The average year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, La Liga is not really looking good so far, huh? Look at this. We have not had a great or a best one yet. Oh my days.
Yeah.
Okay, we're trying to think. Okay, let's see. Levante. Beat Oviedo away. Then lost to Rayo Vallecano 3-0 at home. Then they drew to Mallorca away, and then they barely beat some team in Copa del Rey 4-3. I mean, this has to be another average for me. Like, another average. Wow, there's so many average. Like, yikes, this is so bad. What has Tebas done to this league, man? What has happened to La Liga? Like, yikes.
Yeah, the fall of this league needs to be studied. Mallorca,
they are so they lost to Athletic Bilbao, then they beat Sevilla 3-1 away. By the way, Sevilla team that week before beat Barcelona. Yeah. Then they
tied to Levante.
They drew to Levante, and then they won their Copa del Rey game. I would say average. Again, like probably high average because they beat Sevilla 3-1 away, but I would say before, yeah, let's say there. But man,
jeez,
this average tier is filling up. Like, this is not good. We might have to like begin moving teams around soon, but this is bad. Osasuna beat Getafe, lost to Atletico, lost to Celta Vigo, and then won 5-0 away at some team. But anyways, Copa del Rey. Lost to Celta Vigo 3-2 at home. They lost more games than they played. I think they got to be bad. Personally, like probably there around there.
Yeah. Oviedo, man.
Oviedo. Newly promoted team as well. Oviedo, they're let's see.
They lost to Levante. Then they lost to Espanyol. They tied to Girona. And what? They lost in the Copa del Rey?
Who the hell is this? No, worse. You go, what the hell? Below Girona. They even lost Girona. 4-2, they lost to who?
Okay, I'm going to try to find Orense.
Who are they? Where are they? Wait. Where is this team from?
Are they in the where? Wait, is this? Bro, they're bottom of the second division, I think.
On 5 points. They have 5 points in the third division.
Oh, it's the third division. Oh yeah, it is the third division. Oh my, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That Girona, man, you've been saved.
Yeah, by the way, fittingly, these two drew 3-3 to each other. So, ugly twins. Keep them there. Yikes, man.
Yeah. Yikes. Oh my jeez. Oh my, this is so embarrassing. Oviedo, they didn't Get them out of this league, please.
Anyways, Atletico Madrid, by the way, who won 3-0 today against Sevilla, but that's today. So Atletico. Oh, by the way, what's funny is I know this is not going to count, but they actually had a friendly against us in Libya.
Okay.
We're not going to count that. Don't worry. But yeah.
Okay.
So they were coming off of beating Frankfurt 5-1, but that was September 30th, so we're not going to count it. But just put in context, they drew to Celta Vigo. They barely beat Osasuna. And then they go to the Emirates, the Haram Bowl Derby, and they lose 4-0 to Arsenal.
Bro.
And then they beat, to be fair to them, they beat Real Betis 2-0 to close off their month.
I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, besides the Arsenal game, it was actually, yeah, the Arsenal game's pretty bad. To get thumped like that.
4-0 though, crazy. But like they barely beat Osasuna. Honestly, the Arsenal game was pretty. Yeah, I would say low average. Low average.
The lowest average?
Yeah, I would say probably because that's a pretty bad loss. Yeah, bro, this is bad.
Oh my!
Can a team
Liga
save this league now? We need someone to save them. Rayo Vallecano, who, oh my, they still lost 4-0 today against Villarreal. But okay, we're not gonna count that. But that's crazy. They Rayo. They drew. So okay, no. So they had many games. So they beat
Skenda.
Skendia. I think that's the hell is that an Albanian club or is that like a Macedonian? One of them.
Macedonia,
yeah. It sounds like an Albanian, to be fair. They beat also Sociedad away. Nice. They beat Levante 3-0 away. Okay, 3-0 away. They drew away to Haken. Is that a...
That's a Swedish team.
Yeah, but they had a red card. Swedish away, winter. Okay, no, get say tax. Fine. They beat Alaves 1-0, and they beat some teams 6-1. They lost 4-0 today, but we're not going to count that. I mean, they won almost all their game. They drew only one. And even that was with a red card. I'm going to say, forget good. I'm going to say great. I think that are
great. Our first greats here.
First grade. So lucky that they lost 4-0 today, though. That it wasn't in October. Or else then we would have had some different combos. But yeah. Congratulations. Finally, we have a great team. Finally.
Real Sociedad,
who won the Basque Derby today, but yeah, again, I'm not going to count that. They lost to Rayo Vallecano at home, as mentioned. They drew to Celta Vigo away, who, by the way, had a red card. They beat Sevilla at home. They beat, oh my days, you know what the team they beat? Negreira.
Oh my jeez.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyways. Look, they lost one. They drew one. They won one. Average. I guess middle. You know what? Put them next to their rivals. Put them next to Athletic Bilbao. Put them right there. Yeah, there. Put them there.
Real Madrid.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about them for a bit now. So they beat Villarreal 3-1 at home. They beat Getafe 1-0 away. They beat Juventus 1-0. Should have won by more. They beat Barcelona 1-0. 2-1 actually. And they won today, but we're not going to count that today. But that's 4 games in October. 4 wins. I mean, I know it pains you to do this, but if you're going to they won every game, I think there is only one place where you can put them, right? But you can comment on them. You can speak about them.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to say? Mbappe's balling out. Xabi Alonso's cooking, and Real Madrid is back.
The thing is, I was hearing some people say maybe they're going to go into Banta era. When the hell has Madrid last time gone into quote-unquote Banta era? This doesn't happen. Everyone knew they were just going to, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, basically Real Madrid have had a pretty flawless season. The only blimp you can maybe say is that Atletico game.
Yeah, that's literally the only game they dropped points in. They won every single other game.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, what's there to really criticize, so.
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso, man. Real Madrid, I mean, they're probably the favorites to win the league, which pains me to say.
I mean, you will see. It's still a long time to go, but yeah, man, they're looking good right now.
Would you say they're the favorites to win La Liga, or would you still say Barca's favorites?
I mean, I predicted Barca to win it before the season began. I thought it was going to be I mean, to be fair, last season was close as well, but I thought maybe Madrid could win it though. But the way Mbappe is playing right now and the way this team is playing, I think for me it has to be them. I think they got to be the favorites. I think for me right now, but still a long time to go. Still a lot to go.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So Sevilla, who lost to Atleti 3-0 today, but we're not gonna count that. They. By the way, what has happened to Sevilla though? I feel like this goes under the radar. What has happened to them? Like, this team fell off so hard.
Yeah, okay, they started with brilliantly with a 4-1 win over Barcelona. Then they followed up with a Mallorca defeat. I'm like,
they lost to. Then they lost against Real Sociedad. They beat some team there, and then today they lost to Atleti. But
so basically, the only positive was that basically win against us.
Yeah, and then they lost, 2 other games. I'm gonna say average, I guess, because I'm gonna say low average though. I'm gonna say around there. Yeah, man, this average tier is getting packed.
Yeah. Valencia,
who lost 4-0 today to Real Madrid, but again, we're not gonna count that. They lost to Girona. They drew to Alaves. They lost at home against Villarreal. And by the way, they're rivals. Villarreal and Valencia are rivals.
Yes.
So they lost 2-0 away at home against them. And they beat this team, some team. I mean, look, they lost 2 games out of these. They drew the 1 game. I'm sorry, they have to be bad. In fact, you know what? I think they have to be worst. I would say top of worst. Really bad, man. Valencia, another cool giant that fell.
Yeah. Remember how we said Sevilla fall needs to be studied well. And Valencia just as well.
And speaking of Valencia's rivals, speaking of them, Villarreal. So they actually so this is interesting. They drew to Juventus. By the way, Mikau Tadze, my Georgian right there, striker, doing bits in that club. I've been trying to keep up with Villarreal as a reason. They drew to Juventus, letting Gatti. How do you let Federico Gatti score a bicycle kick on you? I don't know. I'm just going to take points off of that. They lost to Real Madrid. They drew to Real Betis. They lost to Man City. They beat their hated rivals Valencia, and then they won some game. And then today they beat Rayo Vallecano. We're not going to count the tape, but yeah. They drew many games. They won some. They lost. Honestly, I would say considering Betis and Juventus were both home games for Villarreal and they failed to win both. I'm gonna say average. Month.
Top average?
Sure. No, I would say below Betis, but that's it. Yeah.
All right.
This is so embarrassing. Yikes.
Oh my jeez. Wow. This looks very weird.
This looks so weird. So many teams just had so many average.
Yeah. Let's read some comments. A few managers would do something United. Maybe. Barca average for real. Nah, I think we're bad.
Nah, bad.
Real Madrid crown. Select second season syndrome. Second season I mean. Ooh, is there? Oh no.
I don't know. I have a Bayern mutual on Twitter that has that pinned. So, he always goes on about it. So I'm going to see if he's right about it. But yeah.
I mean, if we're going by now, I mean, the evidence is pretty strong. But let's see at the end of the season. I mean,
the thing is, he still won a league. Didn't he with Bayern Munich in second season? But yeah, I get it. We'll see.
Shout out Yamali, man. Athletic Club, horrible. Yeah, Athletic Club. Yeah, honestly, yeah, you could make arguments.
They did badly against Dortmund.
That's true.
Now, Sociedad, I think I'm going to keep them an average. I think they're an average. Are we being a bit too lenient on these? I don't know. Girona, yeah, they're going to be there.
Yeah. Getafe terrible being that high in the league is scary looking. Yeah, unfortunately, Getafe is going to survive, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Rayo Vallecano getting back on track. Pretty them finish 6th. I think would be great. Getafe ball, man. Nah, I think Real Madrid's best.
Yeah.
Well, man. So we are very inconsistent. They got pushed around today.
Yeah. I'm sorry. La Liga quality is dead, man. It's not.
Yeah. The EPL's clear. EPL's clear. Even I have to admit this.
Not just
All right, let's go to Dude.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's go to Doodle's favorite league. And we're going to talk about there's a certain big team we have to discuss about. That this team has been very interesting. Where's the let's do most recent? What? Is this it?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, this is the managers thing. I don't want the managers. I want the teams, bro.
The Serie A. Let's see if the teams. Yeah, the correct teams. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't think we used this one before.
No. I think
I just realized
I haven't seen this before. Yeah.
All right, Pookie. Peace out.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not awful. Not horrible. Awful. And make it like a dark green. You know, just that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This is also not alphabetical order, but okay, we go with it.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. All right, let's start with. I guess we start with defending champions first. Napoli.
Napoli. They beat Sporting to start after they lost to Milan. They beat Sporting, then they beat Genoa. They lost to Torino. Then they had that hammering in the hands of PSV, 6-2. And unfortunately, then for me, they beat Inter. I'm not going to go on about that game because I've been ranting about it for a while. I'm just going to say this. They beat Inter under very controversial circumstances. Let's just leave it at that. And then they beat Lecce. Today they drew, but yeah. So they lost 2 games. They beat us. They won 4 games. They beat us in controversial manner. They lost 6-2 to PSV, though. But they did beat us. Crap. Napoli's tough. But to be fair, we all know Conte in Europe. We all know. Like, the PSV. But honestly, Napoli performances-wise, see, I don't want to just look at results. Performances-wise, Napoli haven't been, I'm going to say average. Like, I know they won those games, but as I said, very controversial against us. They're like, the performances haven't been good. They're just grinding out wins. They lost 6-2 to PSV. Like, yeah, not great for Napoli. But they do. Yeah.
All right, let's move to Inter, man. Your team.
Oh, my love. Inter. Okay, now let me talk about us. Because, by the way, tomorrow's game against Verona is at 3:30 a.m. for me. So I'm not even going to be watching that game. I hope I don't wake up to a defeat. We'll see. So we beat Cremonese 4-1 to start off the October. Then we beat Roma. Inter beat Roma away at the Stadio Olimpico 1-0. Then we beat Union Saint-Gilloise 4-0 away. We lost to Napoli 3-1 as mentioned. And then we beat Fiorentina 3-0. Honestly, I know this might sound a bit biased, maybe. I know this might sound a bit crazy, but the thing is, the Napoli game, I think the second half, the reaction from us was pretty poor, but I still stand by. If that penalty was not given when it shouldn't have been, the referee literally got demoted for it. I think the game would have been different. Having said that, we did lose that game. We didn't exactly look too convincing against Roma, even though we won. We had some, against Fiorentina, the first half was pretty poor, I felt. Inter was a bit too static, I felt. I would say we were good. I'm not going to say great because we still lost that big game against Napoli. I would say good, personally, if you want to comment. Yeah.
Next up is Parma.
Parma, they're in trouble because they have like a very inexperienced coach. Like, so Parma, they lost to Lecce at home. That's really bad.
Yeah.
They drew away to Genoa. They had a red card, to be fair. But that game, their keeper, Zion Suzuki, saved their ass because they should have lost that game. They drew at home to Como, and then they lost 2-1 away to Roma. Bad, honestly. Bad. Yeah, man.
Yeah. At least we got some draws, so I guess that's why we're not putting them the worst.
Yeah, but still, not good enough for them. Lazio. Lazio. Okay. They started off October by drawing 3-3 at home against Torino. Crazy game. They then drew 0-0 to Atalanta. Then they beat Juventus 1-0. Tudor got sacked. And then they drew 0-0 away to Pisa. I'm going to say Lazio they technically didn't lose a single game, but they drew 3. So they beat Juventus 1-0. I would say they had an average season, average month. I would say below Napoli, probably. Yeah.
All right. Atalanta.
By the way, today's defeat was their first in the league, so they're not unbeaten anymore. They drew in. Okay, that's further anyways. But yeah, Atalanta. They drew 1-1 at home to Como. They drew 0-0 to Lazio. They drew 0-0 at home to Slavia Prague. They drew 1-1 to Cremonese. And then they drew 1-1 at home to Milan. Yes, 5 games, 5 draws. Not a single victory, not a single defeat. How do you even rank them? I think it has to be bad. I think they got to be bad above Parma. They didn't lose a game, but they also didn't win.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about them for a bit. This team, man. Oh my jeez. This team, man. This team is so funny.
It's funny as hell. Yeah. They drew 2-2 to Villarreal, as we said. They drew 0-0 to Milan, and by the way, Milan had a penalty. Pulisic missed. They lost 2-0 to Como. They lost to Real Madrid. And then they lost to Lazio. And then then Tudor got sacked. And they beat Udinese 3-1. They did beat, under Spalletti today, they did beat Cremonese 2-1. But again, that's like Juventus. How do I want to rank? How do I think they should? Honestly, I'm going to be honest. Awful. Worst. 1 win. Like,
wow.
I mean, their manager got sacked.
By the way, do you think Tudor? Do you think it was? Oh yeah, obviously it was the right decision. He had to go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm just saying their manager got sacked. Like, yeah.
Do you think Spalletti is good enough for Juve?
I think he was the best choice I could have gotten, but I'll say this: he's safe pair of hands, but I think he'll get them top 4. But look, Juve for me, they're not going to compete for the Scudetto. Like, yeah.
This team, man. There's so many issues with this team. The board, the players, the manager.
It's sometimes I cannot believe it because when I was growing up, Juventus were the dominant force in Italy and they were like competing in Europe. Now it's like, they're like, I don't even know. They're just not recognized. This is not the Juventus that,
they're a laughing stock.
Yeah, they are.
And obviously, I know it's obviously nice for you in some way.
Yeah, obviously it is nice for me. Yeah.
But it also is kind of sad, like being like putting your biases aside. Like it is sad to see like this big team of Italy is being embarrassed.
But the thing is, it happened to Milan. It happened to Inter. It had to happen to Juve at some point.
Yeah.
I'm to be fair to them, they're not as down bad as us and Milan were. But it had to happen at some point. But yeah, Juve. But I'll say this: did they have to sack Tudor? Yes. But coaching is not their only issue. I said this when they sacked Allegri. I said this when they sacked Sarri.
Motta.
I said this when they sacked Pirlo. When they sacked Allegri. When they sacked Motta. That's 5 managers sacked in the last 5 years. Juventus, 5 managers sacked in the last 5 years. Like, yeah.
Juventus's issue is the board. That's the biggest problem.
It is, and the players they have are just not good enough. Most of the players, they're not good enough. They're not not up to the standard that Juventus want to be at. I think Spalletti will do fine with them, okay, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be another forgettable season for them. Ultimately.
Yeah, Juve better finish top 4. If they do not finish top 4,
If they don't
I do
finish top four,
immerse.
they're gonna have a lot of issues. Like they're gonna have serious problems, and they
Okay, I
could
got a
risk
question.
missing out. It's not impossible. They
Okay,
could
I
miss.
got a question. Would it be warranted for me to do an emergency video on them if they miss out on the Champions League?
Absolutely, it's Juventus. At the end of the day, it's Juventus. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see though, Juve man. If you don't want that emergency video to happen, you better get top four.
Yeah,
You
but I
better get
still
top
think
four.
they'll get top four, but it's not going to be like oh wow, you've had a great. No, it's going to be another forgettable
Okay,
season.
I got a question. Would you say which team would you say is the only team that could? Because for me, I think Roma's the only team that could stop Juve from getting top
Yeah,
four.
that's what. Look, I said before the season. For me, the Scudetto could these are for me the Scudetto like challengers for the full season. I think it's going to be Milan because they don't have European football, and because Allegri, it's Allegri. Napoli because they have Conte, they're defending champions, and I still think Inter is going to be there. I know we have Kiwo who's an inexperienced, but Inter's team, I still think, despite how much criticism I've given this team, I just think we have the obligation to still compete for it. I think those are the three that are going to challenge for the Scudetto. And then I think Juventus and Roma will be the ones challenging for the last top four spot. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I would agree as well. Anyways, let's move on to Roma. What is this badge?
Yeah, they're getting a new badge. They're doing it. It's actually an old badge that reincarnated. They're getting a new one soon. Next season, this is the way they're going to be wearing. I personally prefer the one that they've been used to grow, but I get why, historical symbols, everything. I get that. Still, yeah. Roma. They so how have they done? I know they lost to us. I know that. So they lost to Lille. And this is such a funny thing is Roma missed not one, not two, 3 penalties in one game against Lille. Three penalties. How do you do that? I don't know. How did they lose that? I don't know. But okay. Then they beat Fiorentina 2-1 away. Then they lost to Inter 1-0 at home. Then they lost to Victoria Pilsen 2-1 at home. And then they beat Sassuolo away 1-0. They beat Parma 2-1 at home. I'm sorry, but honestly, look at Roma, though. 3 of their defeats were all home games.
That's got to be the bad tier.
That's got to be bad tier. It has to be bad tier. Yeah, pretty bad. They have to be there. Yeah, I agree. Not a good month from Roma. And I'm going to say this about Roma. They're not a Gasperini team to me. They have not been a Gasperini team. They just don't look like a Gasperini team. They're not that free-throwing team that he had at Atalanta. And I get it takes time, but it's a weird season. It's just they're too cagey. And Roma will be a difficult team to beat, but they're I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Roma.
Hey, do you think Gasperini is the guy for Roma? Do you think he's a good manager for Roma?
I think he is. But I think they need to really shape this team up in his own image and make it that it looks like his team, because right now the way they play and everything, it's not a Gasperini team. It looks like it feels like an anti-Gasperini team, defensive, very solid, hard to break down, but not scoring. Not really like a free-throwing attacking team that we saw how we was at Atalanta. It just feels like an anti-Gasperini team. The mix-up, I just don't get it. Yeah. They play Milan tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yeah. Bologna.
There's such a Bologna. They have a derby tomorrow against Parma. But so they started off by drawing 1-1 at home to Freiburg. They then beat Pisa 4-0. They beat Cagliari away 2-0. They beat FCSB 2-1 in Romania. Then they drew 2-2 against Fiorentina away with a red card. And they drew 0-0 to Torino. So they have 3 wins and didn't really lose a game. They had a red card. I'm going to say they had a good month. Probably behind us. I'll say behind Inter. But I think Inter just had a better month. But yeah. I would say, behind Inter, I would say Bologna. Yeah.
All right, Como.
They drew today, by the way, but they should have won. Morata missed a penalty that bombed them against Napoli. They could have won. They could have beaten Napoli today in Naples. Crazy. But yeah, Como. They drew away to Atalanta. They beat Juventus. They then drew away to Parma. They beat Verona to round off their month. So that's 2 away draws and 2 home wins. I would say that's honestly, and they could have won. Honestly, drawing to Atalanta away, I'm going to say great. Actually, that's a great month for Como. I think they would have taken that. That's the Parma draw kind of keeps it away from best, I think. Like, yeah, I would say great month from Como.
Yeah. Yeah. Next up, Cagliari.
Cagliari.
Right.
So Cagliari, I'm gonna say, let's see with Cagliari. They had they started off by drawing away to Udinese. They lost to Bologna at home. They drew to Verona 2-2 away, and then they lost to Sassuolo at home. 2 defeats, 2 draws. That's pretty bad. I would say put them next to Parma. I would say even below Parma. Like pretty bad. I would say, man. Like, yeah. But hey, at least this time we're getting more goods than we did for La Liga. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Fiorentina.
Oh,
This team, man. Oh boy.
oh boy. Hey, so if y'all thought Juventus were going to be the only worst team, I'm sorry, but let me introduce you to Fiorentina. Now, let me introduce this. Now, look, just look. They beat Sigma. Yes, that's actually a team. 2-0 at home. I don't know what they're from. Slovakia, I think, or something. Or Czechia. Something like that. I don't know. One of those. Then they lose 2-1 to Roma at home. They lost 2-1 to Milan away. Then they beat Rapid Vienna 3-0 away, to be fair. They drew to Bologna 2-2. And then they lost to Inter 3-0.
Okay, has the coach been sacked from Fiorentina?
No, Pioli's not sacked yet.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but look, I mean, they won the Europa League games. To be fair, they drew. That has to be bad, honestly. I mean, they won their games. To be fair, I'm gonna say bad, low bad. Yeah, there. Yikes, man! So many bad. Yeah.
How is Pioli not got sacked yet? That's crazy.
How is Pioli not sacked? I do not know. If he was sacked, I would have put them there because if you get a manager sacked, that clearly means you got a crap month for me. So yeah, he should be sacked though. He should be sacked.
Yeah, for sure.
Torino, 3-3 draw away to Lazio, 1-0 win against Napoli at home, 2-1 victory over Genoa, and then a 0-0 draw against Bologna away. You know what? Wow. That's a great month. I would put it above. Damn. Honestly, yeah, I would say. Honestly, the fact they beat Napoli, they beat Genoa, they beat I would say above even Como. I'll put it above Como. They might be in best. We'll see. But yeah, good month from them. Good month from them.
Wow.
Sassuolo.
What is this badge? It's from Sassuolo.
Yeah, they keep changing up their badge. I don't know. Sassuolo. They beat Verona away to start off their month. They then drew Lecce to Lecce away. They lost to Roma at home, and then they beat Cagliari away. So 3 away games. They didn't lose there. 1-2 of them lost to Roma at home in a close game. I would say they had a good month. I would say below Bologna, but I would say they're a good month. Yeah.
All right, next up is AC Milan.
Milan. Okay. AC Milan. What about Milan? What are we saying for them? What are we saying for this team? So, they, as I said, drew to Juventus away. They should have won. They had that penalty Pulisic, but they didn't. Thank for my hate watch. I won both these 2 draw points. That was nice. They beat the Fiorentina. Then they drew 2-2 at home to Pisa. They nearly lost. Although there was a big questionable refereeing there, I can't lie. There was a bit of questionable refereeing against them. Because how the hell was that not a call foul? I don't even know. How was that even counted? And then they drew 1-1 away to Atalanta. I would say average. I would say average. Probably there. Yeah, probably there. Milan, I think, had an average month. They had Roma tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lecce. Lecce is an interesting one. Because Parma 0-1 Lecce. I would say October 4th. So they Lecce won. Then they drew to Sassuolo. They lost 3-2 to Udinese. And then they lost to Napoli 1-0. But Camarda had that penalty. He converted. They would have got a point there. To be fair, I'm gonna say average. I'm gonna say low average, lowest of average, but I'm gonna say average. I would say average. Lecce, I think, are gonna get relegated. So yeah.
Ooh.
Cremonese, who lost to Juventus 2-1. By the way, Jamie Vardy scored against Juve today. Yeah, Jamie Vardy scored against Juve. Sums up. Yeah, great. They lost to us 4-1. They lost to Inter 4-1 away. They then drew to Udinese 1-1 at home. Then they drew to Atalanta 1-1 at home. They beat Genoa 2-0 away. So I would say, again, average month. I would say above Lecce, but I would say, yeah, above Lecce, but average. Yeah, not good enough for him. Udinese, who ended Atalanta's unbeaten run today, but still not counting. Drew to Cagliari 1-1 at home. Drew to Cremonese 1-1 away. Beat Lecce 3-2. And then they lost to Juventus 3-1, who had a caretaker manager. So they got to draw 1 win expected. I would say, again, average. I would say probably below Lecce. But I would say, yeah, there. Average, yeah. We're going to have one best. So we'll see if we're going to have a best. But yeah, Serie A is a bit weird. Let's just say. There was no, like, man, it's kind of crazy, though. Like, are we not going to have anyone? Let's see. So Verona, they lost to Sassuolo at home. Then they drew away to Pisa. They drew at home to Cagliari, and they lost to Como. So they had 1 or 2 draws. Yeah, I would say bad tier. I would say next to Parma and Cagliari. Like there, yeah, Verona there. Yeah, there. I would say bad tier. And Pisa. Pisa. Let's see what they have. They lost 4-0 to Bologna. Then they drew to Verona. They drew to Milan, and they drew to Lazio. Did lose badly in those. Probably should have won. But to be fair, got 2 draws away in those. They didn't win, though. I'm going to say bad. I'm going to say below Roma. Yeah, there. I would say there. And finally, Genoa. Who, by the way, just sacked Patrick Vieira. Just keep that in mind. They just sacked Patrick Vieira. Genoa, they lost to Napoli 2-1. They drew to Parma 0-0 at home. They then lost to Torino 2-1, and they lost to Cremonese. I mean, I'm sorry, but like drawing to Parma at home, I'm sorry, that's worst. They have to go there next to Juventus. And they sacked their manager, fittingly enough. Okay, now we got a problem.
Oh, wow.
Nobody have to have a best perfect. Nobody went perfect.
We don't have to have a best, to be fair.
We don't. Yeah, I mean, nobody went perfect. So no best. I think that tells you, I don't want to glorify Serie A because I think the league needs a lot of improvements. But I mean, look, see, like a bit tough to win there and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care what people say. It's the most competitive league in the Europe top 5 leagues.
I mean, it's not the best probably playing wise because there are so many 1 week injury notes. But like, look, I don't think we have. There's no best because nobody went perfect. So I think it has to.
Yeah, it's the most competitive.
Yeah,
it's the most competitive.
Yeah, I think this is fair enough. I would say.
Yeah. All right, let's move on over to Bundesliga. They were hour and 48 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna run through. Thankfully, Bundesliga and the Liga at least have like less teams.
Yeah, 18.
So, yeah. But yeah, no best for Serie A. I mean, there was nobody really to pick out. So what can we do? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to read comments, you can. But yeah.
Oh yeah, let's read some comments.
Wait, what the hell? Today, Bayern Munich beat Leverkusen 3-0.
PS performance makes them average. Cloud is only good in the league. First comment in a while, and how good the Serie A tier list is. It's good. Juventus like Liverpool right now. They make good signs, but the players perform poorly.
Yeah, I actually made that comparison. They kind of are, but like Juventus spent less. Liverpool are just kind of doing the same things as Juventus. Just Liverpool had more success in recent years than Juventus did.
Yeah, for sure. Well done with your analysis, Doodle.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to Bundesliga. And wow, we already got the letters out here. We just have to put the names. Or we can keep the letters actually.
No, do them like as we have done. So best,
Yeah.
great, good, average, and then create one bad, and then worst.
Oh, this should be a different color.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there we go.
So Leverkusen, they lost to Bayern Munich 3-0 today. Crazy. We're not gonna count that. That is a bit insane, though. That is a bit crazy. Anyways, Leverkusen. So they start off October by drawing 1-1 at home to PSV. Fairs. They beat Union Berlin 2-0 at home. And then they beat Mainz 3-4 away. So you're thinking, okay. And then 7-2 at home to PSG. 7. Conceded 7 at home. But then they beat Freiburg and then they beat Paderborn in Pokal, DFB Pokal 4-2. So they won most of their games. They drew 1. But I'm sorry. I have to put them in average because the game that they lost 7-2. Like 7-2 is kind of crazy. Like Leverkusen for me, they're not. Yeah, they just had a pretty poor season. I think they need to fix up a lot. But it seems like that they're just yeah, it's kind of crazy how the downfall of this team has happened ever since Xabi Alonso left. Yeah, like for me, it has to be. They have to be there. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to pick up a
Yeah,
call.
but yeah, I think average.
Okay. All right, and then Bayern Munich. Well, I'm going to say this right now. Bayern Munich is. Did you know, Doodle? I think they're the only team in Europe's top 5 leagues.
I don't even.
Maybe in the entire Europe.
I don't even think they won every
maybe,
game.
Maybe even entire Europe so far. They have been perfect.
15 wins out of 15.
That is insane.
I don't even need to check their fixtures. We know we don't even need to spend time. Yeah, best.
Like that's insanity. Like, and I heard it's the first time it's ever been happened.
Really?
Yeah.
They are crazy, man. Bayern Munich, fair enough.
Hey, I'm just saying, man, if you're doing this, you better win the league undefeated. If we're gonna do this.
They won't. I don't think they will, but we'll see. Anyways.
Dortmund.
So as we said, they beat Athletic Bilbao 4-1. Then they lost at home. Then they drew to Leipzig 1-1 at home. They lost to Bayern Munich 2-1 away. They then beat Copenhagen 4-2 away, and then they beat Cologne. They beat Cologne 1-0 at home. Then they beat Frankfurt 1-1. They beat them on penalties away in the cup, and then they beat Lever Augsburg away. So I'm gonna say that they had a good month.
Yeah. Next up is Mönchengladbach.
I just call them Gladbach. That's how I say it. So Gladbach. So Gladbach, I'm gonna say So this is what they had. So they drew 0-0 to Freiburg. They then defeated some team. They lost to Union Berlin 3-1 away. Then they lost at home to Bayern Munich. Now, you know what's funny? You would think, okay, 3-0 at home to Bayern Munich, maybe it's expected. Do people actually forget Gladbach used to be known as Bayern Munich's bogey team? Like a team that always beat them.
Yeah.
And then they beat some team in 3-1 in the cup, and then they beat St. Pauli 4-0. So they lost 2 games. They drew 1, which was at home. They won the cup game, but okay, like they won 1-4-0. I'm gonna say bad, honestly. Maybe we put them up to average, but I'm gonna say bad. I don't think they had a good month. It doesn't seem like they did.
Yeah.
Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt. Frankfurt. Let's see. So they lost 3-0 at home to Bayern. Then drew 2-2 to Freiburg away. They lost 5-1 at home to Liverpool. They then beat San Pauli 2-0 at home. Then they lost at home to Dortmund on penalties. And yeah, I would say bad.
Yeah.
And honestly, they had pretty bad battering. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna put them there next to Gladbach. Oh, someone just brought up Dortmund have kept the second most clean sheets behind Arsenal in Europe's top 5 leagues. Dortmund keeping clean sheets.
Wow.
Bears.
Yeah.
What an identity change.
Leverkusen struggled in that game, in the Paderborn game. That game went to extra time at Paderborn, our second division team. Yeah, that's bad.
Wait, really?
All right.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
All right, let's move to Augsburg.
Augsburg. They drew 1. They beat Wolfsburg 3-1. Excuse me. They then drew 1-1 away to Köln. Then lost 6-0 at home to Leipzig. They lost to Bochum 1-0 in the cup, who I think got relegated.
Yeah, they got relegated.
And then they lost yesterday to wrap up October by losing 1-0 at home to Dortmund. I'm sorry, but it has to be bad. Actually, worst. It has to be worst. Yeah, it has to be worst.
Yeah.
Awful.
Heidenheim probably the worst here.
Let's see.
They're the worst
team. They're probably
they're bottom of the league.
Yeah, they are. They drew today, but let's see how their month was. They lost 1-0 to Stuttgart. Then they drew 2-2 to Werder Bremen. They lost 3-1 to Hoffenheim. They lost 1-0 in the cup at home to Hamburg. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're bottom of the league. What do you want me to say? That's worst. Easily. Worst. Yeah, there. Cologne.
Right, next one is Cologne.
Or Cologne, if you want to call them. But Köln. They beat Hoffenheim 1-0 away. Drew at home to Augsburg 1-1. Lost to Dortmund 1-0 away. Lost 4-1 at home in the cup against Bayern. I would say low. I would say low average. Average. Union Berlin. Yeah, man. Next time we should not spend this much on Premier League.
Yeah.
Anyways, they basically they lost 2-0 away to Leverkusen. They beat Gladbach 3-1. They lost to Werder Bremen 1-0. They then beat Arminia Bielefeld 2-1. And then they drew 2-0 to Freiburg. So that's, I would say it's average. I would say it's an average month for them. Yeah, there you go. Mainz. Let's see with Mainz. They beat Omonia 1-0 away in Europe. Then they lost 4-0 to Hamburg. They lost 4-3 to Leverkusen. Then they drew. They beat Zrinski. I hope I pronounced that right. Zrinski 1-0 with a red card. And then they lost to Stuttgart 2-1. And then they lost to Stuttgart again 2-0. I would say they had a bad month. I would say they're a bad month.
Yeah. Bottom bad?
Yeah, probably. Now, honestly, above Frankfurt, I feel like Frankfurt losing 7-2 at home is just disgraceful. Because they won some games, that's why they're not worst. But you know.
Leipzig.
So, they, as follows, they drew the 1-1 away to Dortmund. Then they beat Hamburg 2-1 at home. They beat Augsburg 6-0 away. They beat some club in the Pokal for 1, and they won. Then technically won today. But I would say they have 3. If you want to count that, you know what? I would say they're a good month. I would say they're a good. You know what? Actually, forget about that. They won 6-0 away. They drew to Dortmund. I would say great. Yeah, great. There you go. Welcome. Let's see a second.
Freiburg.
They, it seems like they drew 1-1 away to Bologna. They drew to Bologna 1-1 away. They drew 0-0 to Mönchengladbach away. Then they drew at home 2-2 to Frankfurt. They beat Utrecht 2-0 at home. Then they lost 2-0 away to Leverkusen. And then they beat Dusseldorf 3-1 away. And so that's many draws there. Like some, I would say average. Darmstadt. Is that how you say it?
Darmstadt, yeah.
Darmstadt. Wait a minute. They're not even in Bundesliga.
Oh, yeah.
Why are they here? Who's missing? Neither are Bochum.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to add some teams. So we got teams missing.
Oof. Let's see.
Who's missing? Okay, I see who's missing. There's no St. Pauli, and then there's no Hamburg.
All right, let me add those teams real quick.
Yeah, because I didn't notice until now. Thank God I didn't know. Wow, Mainz are 17th. Whoa, crazy.
Wow. And what's the other team we're missing? Hamburger and what's the other one?
Hamburg and St. Pauli, the rivals.
Okay. Oh, I see. Now this was made last year. That's why it's not updated. I should check that. Yeah, my bad.
It's fine. Anyways,
all right.
So we're not gonna rank Bochum and Darmstadt. Just move them there. Yeah. Hoffenheim. They lost 1-0 at home to Köln. And they beat St. Pauli 3-0 away. And they beat Heidenheim. 3-1 at home. And then they lost to St. Pauli 2-2, 8-7 on penalties away. I would say they had a average month. Yeah, there. Yeah.
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart. Stuttgart, let's see. They lost 2-0 to Basel, beat Heidenheim 1-0, beat Wolfsburg 3 away. They lost to Fenerbahce 1-0. They beat Mainz 2-1, and they beat Mainz again. So I look at it, I'm gonna say they won their Bundesliga games. They won them, but I would say average. I would say average.
All right.
All right. Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg. Oh man, Wolfsburg have been terrible.
How are they doing? Wow, they're 12. So they lost to Augsburg 3-1 away. Then they lost 3-0 at home to Stuttgart. They beat Hamburg 1-0 away. And then they lost against Holstein Kiel, who got relegated, right? 1-0 at home.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's that worst. Just get in there. Like awful. Really bad. Yeah.
Then two more teams. Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen. So they I'm gonna say they beat St. Pauli 1-0 at home. Then they drew 2-2 to Heidenheim away. They beat Union Berlin 1-0 at home. Then they drew to Mainz 1-1 away. To be fair, both were away. But like to be honest, they dropped points to the relegation battling teams and they only won 1-0. Unpopular opinion, I'm gonna say bad. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say bottom of average. Bottom of average.
Then the two promoted teams. St. Pauli.
No, St. Pauli stayed up. I think Cologne and
Hamburg. Sorry.
Anyways, they lost 1-0 to Werder Bremen. They lost 3-0 at home to Hoffenheim. They lost 2-0 to Frankfurt. And they did beat Hoffenheim on penalties at home in the DFB Pokal, but they lost other 3 games. I'm sorry. They have been worse. They have to be there, yeah. Really bad. I would say probably above those, but like I would say below Wolfsburg. Yeah. And in Hamburg. HSV. I don't know. It's HSV. PSV, PSV, the same thing. Anyways, Hamburg. They beat Mainz 4-0 at home. Then they lost 2-0, 2-1 away to Leipzig. They lost 1-0 at home to Wolfsburg. And they beat Heidenheim 1-0. On the cup, I would say average. Probably above Werder Bremen, but yeah. So yeah, that's Bundesliga.
All right. Do you want to do Liga?
Do you want to? You know what? Liga has had some interest. Let's do it. Screw it. Why not?
All right.
Fly through them.
Okay. And then we'd have to do that top 10. Actually, maybe we'll do top 5 teams. I don't know if we can do top 10.
We'll try. We'll see.
All right. So this is up. Oh, no, this is the kids.
Dear God, what the hell? I think that's old. Ligue. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, yeah, this is all we did.
Yeah, we're that just reset then. Nice. That's good. Although, yeah, now you got to do it again. Like,
all right, what minute are we on? 2 hours and 9 minutes. Oh, geez, this has been out really long stream.
Yeah, we shouldn't have done Premier League that long, man. It took 1 hour itself. Next time we're gonna know.
Yeah. All right. Let's quickly speed through this. Okay.
Oh, you forgot there's bad and then there's worse.
Oh yeah.
Let's just quickly run through this one. And then the other one's bad. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's start with Monaco.
Monaco, they lost, by the way, today to Paris FC, but yeah. They drew 2-2 to Man City. Then they drew to Nice. They drew to Angers. They drew to Spurs. They beat
4
Toulouse.
draws. Jeez.
And then they beat Nantes 3-5 away. I would say average. 4 draws is crazy. I would say average for Monaco.
Angers.
Angers.
Sorry.
Yeah. Angers. All right. They lost 5-0 away to Strasbourg. Then they drew 1-1 to Monaco. They beat Lorient 2-0. And then they drew to Marseille. I would say average. Low average, yeah, below Monaco.
Stade Brest.
Brest. Stade Brestois. They did the following. So they drew 0-0 at home to Nantes. Then they drew 3-3 away to Lorient. They lost 3-0 at home to PSG. And then they lost 1-0 at Le Havre away. So that's bad. I have to say bad. Lorient. All right, let's see what Lorient's got in Ligue 1. They lost 2-0 away to Paris FC. They drew 3-3 at home to Brest. They lost 2-0 away to Angers. And then they actually drew 1-1 at home to PSG. So they didn't really win a game. I'm going to say worst. But they drew PSG, but it was at home. I'm going to say worst. They didn't win. They almost lost every game. So kind of funny, but yeah. Nantes.
Yeah, FC Nantes.
Nantes, let's see what Nantes got. Nantes, as said, they drew away 0-0 to Brest. They lost at home 2-0 to Lille. They beat Paris FC 2-1 away. And then they lost 5-3 at home to Monaco. So that's, if we're counting up, that is an average month. Below Monaco, I would say. Metz. Let's see what Metz. They're bottom, by the way. So, 3-0 at home to Marseille. 4-0 away to Toulouse. 6-1 away to Lille. And they did beat Lens 2-0 at home. But I'm sorry, they have to be in the worst category. They're bottom of the league. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad.
Lyon. Okay, Lyon. Inter Lyon. They beat Salzburg 2-0 at home. They lost 2-1 then at home to Toulouse. They lost away 3-2 to Nice. They beat Basel 2-0. They beat Strasbourg 2-1, and they drew 3-3 against Paris FC. So they had some wins, but they had mostly that was a crazy game. It seems like I'm gonna say average. Yeah, there. No, I would say average.
That's right.
Strasbourg, who, by the way, are having an interesting rebuild, rise. Interesting rise under Blue Coat. Strasbourg, they beat Slovan Bratislava 2-1 away. They won 5-0 against Angers at home. They then actually went away to PSG and drew 3-3.
Yes.
And then they drew 1-1 at home to, I think, a Polish team, Jagiellonia. And then they lost 2-1 away to Lyon. And then they beat Auxerre 3-0. Honestly, I would say that's a good month.
Yeah, by the way, they were 3-1 up against PSG. So.
Yeah, they bottled it. But look, it was against, PSG away. So, first. Lille.
Yeah.
So Lille, they, as mentioned, beat Roma somehow 1-0. They beat them at Olimpico. They drew to PSG 1-1 at home. Then they beat Nantes 2-0 away. Then they lost 4-3 at home to PAOK. And then they beat Metz 6-1 away. And then they lost to Nice 2-0. So I'm gonna say they had an average month. Probably not bottom of average, but probably yeah. I would say above Lyon, probably. Yeah. Lens. Lens, we're gonna say they beat Auxerre 2-1 away. They won there. They beat Paris FC 2-1 at home. They beat Marseille 2-1 at home, and then they lost to Metz away 2-0. So they won most of their games, and then they lost one there. I'm gonna say good. I'm gonna say below Strasbourg though. Rennes.
All right.
Yeah, I'm flying through these right now, so we'll go quickly. Rennes. They drew to Le Havre 2-2 away. By the way, you're gonna have to add Le Havre, I think, in this. I don't think they're in there.
All right, let me add them real quick.
Yeah, I don't know why they're not there, but yeah, they then drew to Auxerre at home. Then they lost 2-1 at home to Nice, and then they drew 2-2 to Toulouse. So that's many draws. No win, one defeat. I would say bad. No, not Le Havre. I'm then Rennes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Rennes. Marseille.
Ooh.
Marseille. Interesting, Marseille. So they beat Metz 3-0 away. Then they beat Le Havre 6-2 at home. They lost to Sporting 2-1 away. They lost to Lens 2-1 away. They drew 2-2 to Angers at home. And then they beat Auxerre 1-0 yesterday. I'm gonna say they had an average month. Probably above Lyon and Lille, but probably below Angers. Yeah. Yeah, there.
All right.
Auxerre. Some of these funny ass names, man. Auxerre, they lost 2-1 at home to Lens. They lost to Lens 2-1 at home. They drew 2-2 away to Rennes. They lost to Le Havre 1-0 at home, and then they lost 3-0 to Auxerre. To Strasbourg away, and they lost. Actually, that's today. That was a today result against Marseille. But yeah, I would say worst. Worst, pretty bad. Yeah. Metz actually won a game. I'd say Auxerre last. I'll say them. I'll put them last. Nice.
All right. Nice
is interesting. Let's
see.
So they lost to Fenerbahce 2-1 away. They drew 2-2 away to Monaco. Then they beat Lyon 3-2 at home. Then they lost to Celta Vigo 2-1 away. They beat Rennes 2-1 away. And then they beat Lille 2-0 at home. They lost to PSG today. We're not going to count it. So I'm gonna say that's an average month for them. Yeah. PSG.
Wow, just check. PSG won with the last minute winner today against Nice.
Yeah, against Nice. Yeah. PSG. They beat Barcelona 2-1 away. They then drew to 1-1 away at Lille. They drew to Strasbourg 3-3. Then they beat Leverkusen 7-2. They beat Brest 3-0. And then they drew to Lorient 1-1. They won those games. I'm going to say it's a great month for PSG, but I'm not going to say it's best.
Yeah, that's fair. Le Havre.
It seems like they drew 2-2 to Rennes. They lost 6-2 to Marseille. They beat Auxerre 1-0. And they beat Brest 1-0. I would say average.
We're in the average tier.
Probably bottom, I would say. Yeah, man, no best again.
Yeah. All right, let's look at some comments. I'm still shocked how Augsburg has a sack Wagner until now he's been bad. Former Leipzig have been a good performance, have been outshined by Bayern's 100% record for real. All right, so let's do this thing real quick. Oh, actually, let me check the other leagues real quick. I want to check the let's check Turkish league real quick. I know Gals.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing the tiers, but I just wanted to look. So Galatasaray first. Trabzonspor second. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Eredivisie.
Let's see
Who's
who's
top
there.
here?
Feyenoord first. PSV, yeah.
PSV second. Ooh. Ajax fourth. The last league I wanted to check is the Portuguese.
Liga Norte.
Liga Portugal.
Porto.
Porto first. Sporting second.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do this like a last segment kind of thing, I suppose. What have been the best teams? Let's do best teams in Europe. Let's do like top three. I don't think we'll do a top 10. I think top 10.
Let's do top 5. Let's just do top 5.
All right, top 5 is good, I guess.
So number 5. Let's go from 5 to 1. So who's for you? Let's just go that way.
Okay. Let's see.
For this month.
Wow, this is tough. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I want to hear yours, actually.
Okay, I'm not gonna go just this month. I'm gonna go how they are right now.
Okay.
Top 5. So number 5, I'll go with tough. I suppose. I guess we can do. I'm trying to think. Let's see. I'm gonna say. I guess 5th strongest right now. See, 5th. No, we're gonna get on to see the 5th. For some reason, number 5 is the hardest for me to pick. I'm gonna say. I already have my top 4. I'm just trying to think of number 5. I can't think of 5th. I'm gonna say. You know what? Okay, fine. Screw it. I'm gonna say 5th strongest as of now in terms of what I'm gonna take. This 5th strongest. I'm gonna say Barcelona.
Barcelona, okay. Okay, I'll say Barcelona 5th, I guess.
Yeah.
4th, I'll say Real Madrid.
I agree. I also say Real Madrid 4th.
And then 3rd, I'll say PSG.
Yeah, I would say PSG 3rd, Arsenal 2nd,
And 1st, Bayern.
Bayern. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, same one.
Okay, that's fair. Sage is saying Bayern, Arsenal, Leipzig, Como, and Bournemouth.
Nah, not as 5th strongest. Come on.
No, I think he means like most informed teams of the league.
Yeah,
If
but
you mean
we're
that,
doing strongest. We're doing strongest right now.
We're top 5 strongest. Look at Sage. Give me your top 5 strongest. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent list. Honorable mention, I guess Liverpool. Liverpool, I guess, would be 6 for me.
They need to fix up though. Yeah.
And then maybe
I guess City.
City, and then maybe Inter.
Inter,
the top
10. Yeah. I would say around that time. Maybe you can throw Dortmund in there somewhere.
Would you have any would you have any teams outside the top 5 leagues in your top 10?
No,
like
not
Porto.
Really. Not really.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But anyways, I think we're gonna round up here, guys. It's been 2 hours.
Next time we're not doing Premier League that long. Don't worry.
Yeah, next stream we're gonna be a lot more concise and do a lot better. So yeah. Anyway, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. If you made it all the way to the end, shout out to you guys. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a long one, but yeah.
All right. So last comment before we head out. So 5th, Barca, Madrid, Arsenal, PSG, Bayern.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, we have pretty similar. I think the only difference is that we have PSG. We have PSG, Arsenal above PSG, but other than that, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So, anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Guys, like and subscribe on your way out, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.